It broke. So I'm just not switching.
This is Papa Brad, and welcome to the iiRcadians, the show for fans of home arcade. While you're here, don't forget to slam that like button. Why don't you subscribe to the channel? It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Thank you, and on with the show. Be a hero and subscribe. We're glad you're here. iiRcadians assemble. Arcade 2.0. Room for one more Arcade1Up going in there. Oh yeah, I got all the perimeter full. So from here on out, if something comes in, something has to go. Max capacity for this room. It's looking good. Can't wait to get my last cab in here and finish this project.
It's pretty dope.
It's pretty dope.
What's happening?
Pretty dope.
Wow, we got a full house here. We must be talking about Circus Interstellar today.
Absolutely.
All right. It's down a little bit. Welcome to the stream. iiRcadians assemble. Papa Brad. These are the killer clowns. Welcome to the show, Steps.
I'm not a killer clown, goddammit.
Brooklyn, say hello.
I'm a juggalo, so I'm a wicked clown.
There you go.
Who is this guy?
What's up?
Snicks.
Woo! What?
The OG's back.
Hey guys. What's up, guys?
Hey, and welcome. Welcome to the show. We got everybody here, man. How awesome is that? Talk about a great new game. We're excited about it.
I'm a little too high on the camera. There we go. All right. I gotta go back and watch that movie. I didn't get finished with it. It's such a goofy music video.
Who here watched that movie back in the 80s?
Hell yeah.
I did. I recently bought the Blu-ray of it, like completely remastered.
Yep.
Nice.
It must be a Juggalo essential, though, isn't it, Brooklyn?
I'm a horror movie fan, so it's essential
Oh
for
my.
Hey, there we
just
go.
for that.
Yeah, cotton candy in effect.
And they really did this movie justice on this new Blu-ray. Like they cleaned it up. It looks like a new movie.
Does that have like 4K support, all that?
The one I have is Blu-ray, so it's 1080p. I don't know if they put out a 4K of it yet.
You know, they just don't make movies like that anymore.
No,
But they do make games like that, though, right?
they do. What, they're coming out with the actual Killer Clowns Mars Space game too.
Yeah,
They
that's
are.
true.
It's gonna be kind of like the Friday the 13th game and the brand new Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. It's that type multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm glad they changed the name of the game. Yeah, originally the game was called Killer Clowns, and it was like, oh, this is gonna cause a lot of problems. Especially when they announced the game, we were like, yeah, it was like, well, all right, it's time
Better to be safe than sorry.
for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like Capcom did. I don't know if everybody knows this, but M. Bison was originally Balrog, and it was based on Mike Tyson. But they thought it was too close. They could get sued,
Awesome.
So they changed him around.
Make everyone big.
Yeah, I remember that.
Who did that artwork on that splash screen?
What's that?
Nice job on that.
Oh,
I-
the cover art?
Great.
Yeah, I like the cover art.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad we
New
could
one,
use it.
Yeah, he's working on a new one for the super version, and it looks even better.
Yeah, but right now we're just giving some love to this original release. So, Yeah, and so I'm glad you liked it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took
Okay.
me like a month of just
So we're-
nonstop drawing.
Fantastic.
Well, on to our first topic for this stream, which of course is going to be Circus Interstellar, which is a brand new game
I love that you put
Which
the
is
Berzerk
available
robot there.
Yeah,
That's
I
funny.
thought-
on Steam, right?
Yep. Steam and
Okay.
itch.io if you want the DRM free
Yeah, if you want
version.
DRM free.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the game in a window and we're just going to talk about the game. Let me do that. Let me
Sweet.
add this to the stream. Wait, that's the wrong one. Hold on.
That's
This is
the
one. That's the one I just showed.
We're
This
gonna
is
watch
the
that
I'm
one
looking
again
for.
and
Hold on. Okay. And I'll turn the sound down a little bit. Not too loud. So where did you get the killer clown idea? How did y'all come up with that idea? This is an amazing game. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so it actually came from an idea we had when we were like 7 years old or something.
Yeah.
We were in the back of the truck with our cousin, and we were driving somewhere, and we were just talking about a game that we wanted to make. And he just watched that movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and we were talking about like making a game like that, and it didn't really go anywhere. And then, a couple years back, we were trying to come up with an idea for a game, and we were like, hey, let's try to make that idea that we had when we were 7.
Yeah, we were working on this other game for a while, and it wasn't really going anywhere.
Yeah, it kind of sucked.
And we were
The
like, man.
big top UFO.
What's
That was pretty brilliant. The big top UFO at the
Oh, you
beginning
like
of
that?
it. That is an awesome touch.
Yeah, I'm surprised it came out so well. I drew that one when I was trapped working over in Culver, and I had to keep an eye. I had to do fire watch over there. No one was around, so I pulled my laptop out and started drawing it. And I'm surprised it came out so well. Yeah, but yeah. So no, we were working on another game though, and then that wasn't going anywhere. So we were like. We were just looking at it, we were like, oh man, I'm just sick of this and we want to do something else. And I was playing Berzerk at the time on my computer.
And we knew we needed to pick a simple game too.
Yeah,
so we were
something
like,
simple with like good bones. And then we were like, I was playing it and I was like, man, there's so many things you could do to make this game better and stuff. And
yeah, and nobody had really remade Berzerk, not with the electric walls and stuff. So
yeah, so then the rest is history. So.
Awesome. And this is the new version. Tell us about the upgrades that were made from the iiRcade version coming to this new version, which is now on Steam.
So first off, the performance is like
Infinitely
way better. We made a lot of modifications to things like the bosses. When we released that version that everyone got on the iiRcade, it was it still had a lot of work left to do on bosses, but we ran out of time. So they're kind of reduxed and they work a lot better. They're much harder. Let's see, it's after that it's like a bunch of little things like I fixed fixing AI and big thing, we were noticing people were having trouble running through levels because it was like the juggler knot. There's a big clown head that chases you around. He's like evil auto. He was coming in way too quick, so we adjusted that.
Okay.
And
That's perfect.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I
It's
see more
perfect. It's
texture
perfect.
in the cotton candy right
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
Looking at this version.
Oh, that is actually because on the iiRcade we were limited to how much cotton candy you could have on screen, and so we had them as like these instead of like individuals, they were clusters. So you would pop it, and instead of just one popping, the whole cluster would pop.
Yeah.
But this time we didn't have to worry about that. So every piece of cotton candy is just one individual thing. So it creates like a forest of cotton candy now.
The cotton candy looks like people.
It is.
It's satisfying
It
to
looks-
run
it
through.
looks like
It really
people.
is.
It's supposed
It's,
to.
It's funny
Okay.
because your characters don't know that, and so they're eating the
Just
cotton candy and
eating
getting
all
like
the,
energy boosts from it and stuff. And
That's awesome.
That's
so
kind
it's
of
kind of
morbid.
like a little dark humor
Yeah.
in there.
Like
Yeah.
definitely
one
a
of the-
shout out to Soylent Green, right?
Yeah, oh, for
yeah,
sure.
it was.
There's actually a funny PDA hidden in the game where a guy is he's really hungry and he can't get into his room because of the electrified walls. And then he looks around, he's like, oh hey, somebody left all this this cotton candy
No,
lying around.
that was a pie.
Oh, it was pies. That's right. It was
Yeah.
like, oh, somebody left these pies lying around, and it was from the bloater, which is a big, fat clown that reaches into his gut and pulls out these pies and throws at you.
Mhm.
And anyway, he eats the pies and then explodes.
Yeah, he's like,
we're on to the first
room.
room. The action's going to start. Slasher flick. Now,
So
I like the way each room has a unique name too. That is a cool thing in the game.
Yeah,
one thing with the rooms that we changed was you used to just be able to run away from rooms because we were sticking a little too close to Berzerk. Where in Berzerk you can either fight all the robots or you can run away twice and progress to the next level. Well, we were finding people weren't really fighting the clowns anymore once they found that out, and it was like it was way too easy, and it wasn't as fun. So we made it to where you're locked in the room to fight the clowns until either you kill all the clowns and the doors open, or when the juggler knot shows up.
There's the juggler knot. The juggler knot comes out to rush you through the
You don't have
rooms.
to modify it any more than what it is.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
it's
welcome to the
safe.
stream, brother Bill. We just say welcome to the stream, Carl.
And the balancing with the
thanks, brother
stamina
Bill.
is good because you have the cotton candy.
Goofy
like
foot,
if
welcome.
you watched my gameplay earlier, like I was hitting all the cotton candy, I was flying through the rooms.
Yeah.
I wasn't running out of stamina.
By the way, Nix, you had mentioned a couple of videos back that we should have in our way to heal. So that's where the med packs came in. I asked Steph if we could add that, and so we added it. So now you don't just have to heal with cotton candy. If you get lucky and you get a med pack, you can pick that up.
That's perfect because there's some rooms that don't spawn that red cotton candy, and when
Yeah,
you need to heal.
exactly.
So that definitely helps.
For sure.
We also made those buttons easier.
Just a little
bit easier.
It was people were
Well, I've got
really-
the timing down. Once you recognize what pattern
I'm
that
still
it
working
is.
on the timing. Here comes the juggler
there's-
knot. He
there's-
reminds, like I
there's
said,
numerous patterns, but they're all the same. Once you pick up the pattern, then you got it.
the
all
bosses
the-
remind me of Sinistar.
Because on
Yeah.
a room that has multiple buttons, it's the same pattern. So once you got it, then you
Yes.
throw over second
Yeah,
button.
like
you got
the
it.
pattern does change slightly, but
Always
for
talking
the
about
most
in the
part.
same room.
Like in the same room.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Yeah, but room to room, it does change. Yeah.
Yeah.
Goofyfoot's asking, have you ever thought about maybe adding a dual stick control?
So
Dual stick firing?
on
does.
the iiRcade, I did not think about doing that at first. Now I might, but the only thing is right now that is the second player's controls, and if you press A on that, I have it programmed to let you join the game while you're mid-game. And so if I make it to where it's both players, I can't do the drop in, drop out. You know,
Not with the iiRcade at least.
Yeah.
On
the
the
arcade, the Steam version, you can use two analog sticks.
You
I got
can.
that.
Yes.
Yep.
So it plays great with the two analog sticks. That's how I play with
Yeah, you
like
can shoot
PlayStation
with- you
5
can shoot
controller.
with
I
the
use
other
this
analog
controller. Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It allows for
Yeah, it's like aiming. Yeah, so you can aim with it, right? And then all you have to do
Uh-huh.
is use your trigger buttons. Right?
Yep.
Awesome.
And the gamepad also has like a special button where now you can just click I think it's right bumper and it'll do a dodge roll without needing
Feeling
to hold-
corny?
Yeah, makes it so much more. The control's more intuitive.
Absolutely. Yeah, that
Some
was an
popcorn?
idea, my friend.
Which now that I'm not really focusing so much on the control so much, now I'm enjoying the gameplay more. I'm more focused on the gameplay
Oh, good.
and not like struggling with the controls. Yeah.
Oh, are you eating that evil popcorn over there?
absolutely.
The man eating popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Getting
This is
some.
the kind
they're-
of plays
they're
that way
coming.
on the Steam Deck. You aim with one stick and have to fire with the trigger button. Okay.
That's cool. I haven't got to see
Nice.
anybody play with the Steam Deck, but we heard about somebody doing it, and like he said, it works. So that's cool.
I'm so glad it worked.
Awesome.
We don't have the money right now to
No,
do
to
a Steam
afford a
Deck
Steam
thing,
Deck,
and so I'm just glad that it worked right out the gate because that must be really cool to be able to play on the go.
Yeah.
On the go, absolutely.
we hope to get on maybe the Switch sometime, but that's gonna be a
That's the
bit
goal.
out.
That's the goal. Maybe if not this version, it will definitely be.
It probably won't be this version.
the
It'll
next
probably be
one.
super.
It all depends. We'll see what happens.
Can you guys talk about the process of getting a game put on Steam or Switch or things like that? Like, what does it
I
entail?
don't know about that.
So okay, Switch, we don't know yet. We're still learning all that. You know, we're working towards getting everything ready so we can go get a publisher out there. Because self-publishing was a real pain.
Sucks.
And it was like, we want a little bit of help. But Steam was quite easy actually. They don't have the green light process anymore. They haven't had that for a long time.
Ouch.
And so now it's just you pay a flat fee of $100 and you get the
your
Steam
Steam page.
page, and then you just after that it's just building it up, you know, getting like all of your assets ready and stuff, and
Setting up your
setting up your descriptions, all that business, and then getting wish lists.
Yeah,
And,
and you do it all through Steamworks. So
Yep.
Okay.
for those who didn't
Very
know, it's
easy
Steamworks.
process. Yeah, super easy.
The game is how much on Steam is the game?
$9.99.
$9.99 is awesome value.
Yeah, the replayability, you get your money's worth. We'll be
for
playing
sure.
through
And we're
this game multiple
updating it still
playthroughs.
too.
And anyone that already picked up the game when it was the
Got a free
older
upgrade.
the version Killer Clowns
if you
for it
wanna
was
be.
$4.99 back then. Yeah, that version has now been updated, so anyone you get free on the house if you already bought it. So
I see. I know Brooklyn has it on his wish list.
Sweet. Hey, and like I said, we're updating it still, even though we're working on the super version, which will have
Super.
a bunch more stuff.
sorry, I was watching.
Hey, your scar's showing.
Oh,
But even though we're working on that newer version,
Okay.
we're still updating this one. Like we saw a couple of things, but the other day, yesterday, we were playing the remote play with some friends on stream.
Four-player.
On 4-player, and we noticed that you just melt the boss,
Yeah.
like completely destroy them. So
I need to
we're going
balance
to
that.
be balancing that out, and various other bug fixes, whatever people send us in on the
Okay, let me get
Discord,
to
we'll be fixing.
Yeah, we haven't
Get to some
seen anything yet on
craziness.
Discord, but if anyone's out there playing and they see anything that they want to report or anything, just go on our Discord and mention it, and I'll immediately
Awesome.
start working on it.
I gotta say, I'm really impressed that you guys came up with an idea to do this game when you were 7, and you still have stuck with it. Like that's some serious commitment, guys.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It just like it had such an impact because we remember that moment so well. That when we were thinking about the game, it was like, of course, we
Yeah.
should make that game.
It was it's funny because it's changed completely. It wasn't
Yeah,
it
not at
wasn't
all
at
like this.
all going to be in space. They weren't going to be demon clowns and everything.
Originally, it was supposed to be closer to like Resident Evil 2, like
Yeah.
the 90s
Uh-huh.
era,
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
thinking like it was basically going to be like you're playing as a cop and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And the clowns come and you're in the streets fighting them and everything. And we didn't even know we were going to do electric walls. I mean, we knew it was a Berzerk remake, but we were like, oh, I don't know, cotton candy walls or something. And then everything just kind of fell into place after that. And like, it's and
Wow.
I don't know, it's hard to leave a game when you have so much put into it and everything. So yeah.
Well, this game set in space is the perfect setting.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we thought when we did it. We were like, of course, it should be insane.
it would never have. Honestly, like you probably
It
wouldn't be
works.
playing this. You probably wouldn't be playing this version right now if it wasn't for the iiRcade, because we had originally gone, okay, we're just like, it's time to move away from what was originally Killer Clowns and start our next game. And then somebody came to us. Oh, Malcolm came to us and he was like, hey, this game would be really cool on the iiRcade. So then we were like, well, if we're going to do that, we're not just going to port it, because we were kind of over the game in a way, because it was kind of we were seeing only its
All the
faults and
problems.
everything, because we had grown a lot in the years. And so, then we went back and we were like, hey, we're going to do an HD remaster. Wasn't quite going to be this version that you're playing. But then with all that business with iiRcade shutting down, it was like, okay, we got to pivot and change the direction a little bit
Yeah.
so we could get it out.
So you guys have another game in development as well?
Yeah. Well, yes. So first, so the plan, being that the plan changed so drastically, first what we're gonna do is we're working on a super version of this, kind of like what Super Meat Boy did, you know, where they had like Meat Boy and then Super Meat Boy. So ours is gonna be Super Circus Interstellar. And right now we've already got a bunch of the stuff ready. Like we got a lighting system that looks super cool. We've got a bunch of different power-ups and reflections. We're gonna be working on what like changing the clowns so that way it feels different, and the whole game's gonna get like a more roguelike facelift.
Yeah, we want to. We were looking at this and we were like, you know what? There's a really cool opportunity here to make this game like Circus Interstellar, what you're playing here, make it like the pure like vision of what we originally thought Killer Clowns was going to be when we were working on it. Just like, you know, pure arcade kind of experience like Berzerk. And then when we do Super, we're like, okay, we're going to keep the, you know, the main mechanics, you know, electric walls, you know, like it's going to feel, you know, play like an arcade game still, except we're going to lean, like Matt was saying, a lot more into roguelike elements. And we want to do like unlockables, collectibles, mini games, possibly leveling up and everything. Power-ups and guns will carry with you and be carried as items that you can use and everything in the game. So just like a lot of that kind of stuff, and you know, yeah. So
but we are working on another game as well. We were working on it before we went back to do this, and that one's still super early, but it was going to be like giant bugs, like people that were mutated into bugs, and you had to fight them.
But that's
can't go too much into that because it's not ready yet.
Is that based on a horror movie as well, or?
It's based off of like Dead Space,
Awesome.
Dead
stuff like
Space,
that.
and The Thing, and you know, a couple of those other you know, big giant bug movies and everything. Silent Hill, a lot of Silent Hill,
and a little bit of Centipede, the game.
Yeah.
Awesome. So Circus Interstellar available on Steam right now for $9.99. Go check it out. It's an amazing game. Thank you so much, guys, for coming on and showing us the game.
Hell yeah.
That was awesome. Thanks, guys.
There's also a full hour interview with you guys on my
Oh, pizza.
Check it out if you want. And we're ready. We're ready to move on to the next topic. The next topic for the show is, let me get up my show notes here. News about iiRcade from Glenn and from Team Encoder. I'm going to start with Glenn's news, and I talked to both of them today, and this is I do have permission to read this from Glenn. So
Straight from the source.
Straight from the source, directly from the horse's mouth. Okay, and
would that be Wilbur?
Let me put up. I did have some pictures to go.
Don't date yourself, Steps.
Okay.
I wasn't alive then.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
So here's the message. I do have permission to read from Glenn.
72 years old.
Okay, so yes, we did hit and surpass the 500. Production is going forward.
Cool.
People can absolutely, still pre-order. There is a link to pre-order the control panel if you want it in the description of this video. They haven't shut down yet. We are making some small improvements on a couple areas of the device, which of course people will be happy for. We also got the information we need to make sure that they're going to be fully compatible with or without Team Encoder's board. So this will work with the Team Encoder solution. That will work in tandem.
Sweet.
Okay. The GRS SBC is also in testing and still shooting for about a $50 price point as an add-on to the control deck. I know people have been asking if they could use a Raspberry Pi or other things. Just to be clear, this time, this is designed for use with the Legacy Gold Cab with our SBC or the original board with the iArcade. We can definitely revisit other single board computers and features, but at this time the goal is a control deck with all the features we've always talked about and the USB, of course, with top quality components at the lowest possible price for a drop-in replacement and for our single board computer to come out in the fourth quarter, and that is directly from Glenn. So
it's a beautiful looking control deck. What I like about the choice of it, also the way I hope they keep it matte black too, so it doesn't pick up fingerprints.
I like the black actually.
You could pretty much put that on any iArcade and it'll suit it, with the design around it.
It's gonna look great on any iArcade.
Dude, two gate switchers, and look at the price he put that at.
Well, I love that trackball. The trackball is awesome.
For that price,
trackball, 2 push-pull spinners,
and just to be clear too, I knew this show's totally from here on out going to be mostly about Arcade1Up, but we are still all about the iArcade. We are for anything that makes the iArcade better for everyone.
Well, at that price point, he's got to be using Arcade1Up buttons, right?
No.
No.
He's gonna have all top quality parts in there.
Wait.
And
this is an Arcade1Up show? God damn it, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But
I'm done with this.
we're not quite making the jump yet. I did reach out to I did have some contact with He Who Cannot Be Named, and they're well on the way to releasing their solution too, which is going to greatly enhance everyone's enjoyment of the iArcade. iArcadians are for anything that makes people enjoy their iArcades more. Isn't that right, Steps?
iArcadians is for everybody to enjoy the iArcade more. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I mean, like these
That's
solutions,
right?
Glenn's solution, the
encoder solution.
Thank you. I can't say his name, but yeah, his solution is definitely going to make everyone get more enjoyment out of their iArcades, and hopefully will even enable us to buy games from people like Ettinsoft.
That would be awesome.
Right?
So
And
That
put
would be
Circus
awesome.
Interstellar on your iArcade in a legit way, where you can totally have it on there.
easier.
So
I do hope that the future of iArcade is more of like a machine for independent developers to put their games on.
Yes.
I do too.
That was something that when we first got the machine, we were like,
We thought that's what it was.
yeah, we were like, oh my god, like they got a perfect like independent developer like cabinet here. They just need to lean into it, and it looked like maybe they were doing that towards like the end. But when we first got it, it was like, it felt like they were missing an opportunity.
Yeah. Definitely.
It was that they had so many people that had a different opinion on why they bought the iArcade, so they could not make everybody happy every week, no matter what they did. Some people wanted it to be that, others just
we are
wanted
in contact right now with
retro
both
games.
camps that are designing great things coming to the iArcade. So keep your eyes and ears posted, and it's a bunch of us iArcadians are in contact with the news sources for the things that are good that are going to be coming to iArcade. Isn't that right, Steps?
Yeah, I can't wait till I have all the TurboGrafx 16 games on my iArcade.
We will see. We will see if that's possible.
I'm not in touch with anyone. I just asked Brad what's going on. And I act like I know everything.
Anything good that comes to iArcade, we're going to be part of.
So
I guess
TurboGrafx.
Part of.
I had a question.
I need a new version of Legendary Axe.
Of Legendary Axe?
Yeah, everybody forgot about Legendary Axe.
Yeah, I
don't know
I thought
what
maybe you were
that
talking
is.
like Golden Axe, but yeah, I don't know what that is.
Look it up.
I had a question. Does that trackball, does it glow?
Yes, it will. If it's Glenn's trackball, I have it on my 12-in-1 Deluxe, and it glows. You could change colors.
Yeah,
I want to play some Centipede with that. I love Centipede on a trackball. That was awesome.
I do love Centipede. It's one of my favorite games.
Yeah,
Does
awesome.
the board, Glenn's board, it doesn't fit into the machine, does it? It'll sit outside of the machine of the iArcade.
No, it's going to replace the control panel.
Oh, is it?
It give you
Yeah.
it give you a USB
that's
port that
cool.
you'll be able to plug the SIN in. So if you purchase the light gun games, you'll be able to play the light gun games.
Oh, good.
So that's really
awesome.
exciting.
Yeah. Oh my God, it'd be so cool too to play Terminator. On
Oh,
there.
yeah.
That yeah. What's that?
Carnival, it'll fit in with your game.
Oh,
yeah,
Carnival.
Carnival would be
Yeah,
epic.
cool game.
That's a hard game to emulate. I don't even know if iiRcade can emulate that. I know PCs have a hard time emulating that.
Really?
I've heard about that.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Huh.
I've only ever played it on the actual cabinet.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm looking at Legendary Axe right now. I have never seen this game in my life.
It's kind of neat.
Looks pretty cool.
Those trees look like they're from Mega Man X.
Well, maybe someday. Maybe someday. We'll look into it. Looks cool.
Anything is possible. No.
Anything.
Anything is possible. That is correct. That is correct.
Hey, the service is still up, so anything apparently is possible.
Yeah,
Anything is possible.
Yeah, what?
That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on there.
We don't know. I mean,
There's all sorts of rumors.
Yeah, I try
There's
to
always
steer clear of
rumors.
them. Yeah.
There's
I heard Ettinsoft bought him. No.
yeah, right.
That would be wonderful.
Whatever.
Yeah, I can't. I couldn't handle that kind of responsibility.
No.
We're going to start off, we all love home arcade. That's why we're here, and we've put out a few videos. Here's one with 11,000 views. The Fender Party Arcade. Hey, that's Papa Brad.
Hey.
And we've covered Arcade1Up quite a bit, but this is going to be, we're going to go through all the cabinets that we've gotten, and we are about to rank every Arcade1Up we've ever had. Hey, welcome to the show, the Rexer Show. Okay. Carlo just bought iiRcade. Congratulations.
Brad, did you get Rexer's top 10 list? He said he sent it to you.
There it is.
Yeah, I didn't get his.
Oh, there it is.
The 10 1-ups he never
Wait,
bought
no, he
them.
said he bought one and then he got rid of it.
that's it.
I'm
Carl
not even sure he
O.
bought one.
It's the O Arcade.
Well,
Carl, hook me up.
Carl
Give me
bought
the
it?
YouTube channel.
The O Arcade.
We
People are making
love
jokes about
home
that.
arcades, all of
Are
us.
they?
And
I haven't heard
we're
anything.
gonna go a brief history of Arcade1Up,
Oh,
5
no.
slides, and we're gonna talk a little bit about each category. Is everyone ready for this? It took a long time, but we're gonna slug through it.
Is this going to be a long time?
Hey,
Brad,
isn't
or
it?
you-
That's how we
Getting
all
these
got
slides
here.
together took a long time.
Didn't
You're
we all
right.
start with Arcade1Ups?
I'm gonna start
I
with.
started with emulation.
I start with the
Well, we all
arcade.
started
Yeah,
with
exactly.
emulation. I'm talking
You know,
about
I
when
just-
we actually had an arcade in our home.
Yeah.
I guess some people did build them and they did
Long
emulation
before
through
Arcade1Up.
cabinets.
I started with MAME. I mean, going back to just
MAME.
having MAME on a computer back when these arcade games disappeared. There was a time period where if it wasn't for MAME, these games, they wouldn't have been preserved the way they are.
No.
It really helped to keep arcades alive for a long time.
100%. If it wasn't for MAME, I don't even think arcades they just would have been a memory.
Yeah,
This
I'm
isn't
not.
a MAME show. We love all games and all ways to play them. Go
I'm not
ahead, Mike.
against giving Arcade1Up their flowers when they deserve it, but I know for me, I have an Arcade tank stick in front of me, hooked up to my computer with MAME and everything. That was my start. Arcade1Up was this new thing you could get at Walmart.
Right. That's what we're talking. We're talking about the Generation 1. Look at the beautiful cabinets. The Generation
Rampage.
1 Arcade1Ups. We had
Every one of them
Pac-Man,
had problems.
Galaga.
Oh, did they?
Oh,
Street
every one of them.
Fighter.
Just pick one.
Centipede.
I bought 3 of
Rampage.
those.
The wonderful.
Kev, you
on
could still say
Asteroid.
that to this day.
Yeah, to this day, pick any cabinet. Street Fighter had
Okay.
Every
mono
single one of them
sound.
looked the same.
Man.
Rampage crashed
So
at level
what's
27.
everyone? What's
Oh,
everyone?
wow.
Oh, Brad, you should have had my
Talking
first
over each other.
Arcade1Up video loaded up for this show. Would
Yeah,
have been
yeah, yeah.
perfect.
What's
Pac-Man
everyone's
didn't have
first
any problem,
experience
though.
seeing these Generation 1 Arcade1Ups? One more look at them.
That's not generation.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sorry, I
yeah.
got like 50
Bad.
slides here for the show.
Man,
Galaga
there's
used
some
wrong
kicks on
ROM.
that Rampage cabinet.
That's the one I have. That was my first one.
Okay, we're gonna
Just
talk
showed
about
it.
You're talking about
So-
the Centipede one, or
No,
You
that one.
start off. You start
The
off.
12-in-1
with
Deluxe.
the Menace.
This was my very first Arcade1Up. I was so excited to
Yeah.
get this thing. I remember it was close to the holiday season, and it was my present to myself. And I put the whole thing together. It was just amazing. Set the whole thing up, and then I made the mistake of hitting the power button
Yep.
and found out
What
It's
happened?
garbage.
that my beautiful brand new Arcade1Up was bricked.
Oh.
That is sad of
Yeah,
Are you
that's
kidding
pretty
me?
much
Right
what it
off
said
the
when I
bat,
turned it on.
As soon as
Well,
you
how did
turned
it break?
on.
Well, I guess apparently people had learned over the years. It's like, dude, before you put it together, turn the freaking thing on to make sure it works.
Yeah, that's
Oh man. So
I built the whole
that's
thing.
a hard lesson to learn.
And it's like, here we go, baby. I'm going back to the days of the 80s in the arcade. Let me just hit this power button and it's on. Click. Nothing.
What was your first impressions of the Gen 1 Arcade1Ups? Where did you first see them? Were you interested in when they first came out, or did it come along later on? Were you interested? How did you find out about the Arcade1Ups?
Walmart.
Oh, is he talking to us?
Walmart?
Yeah, Walmart.
Okay.
Walmart. Yeah.
So these were available at Walmart. And the thing was, they were very affordable. I remember them being like around $300. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I think so.
They were $3.99 at first, and then the price dropped, if you remember, at GameStop to $2.99, and that's where I got my Street Fighter Gen 1 at GameStop for $2.99. But I have a story about the 12-in-1 too, Brooklyn.
Okay.
And my story goes like this. I wanted that because that was like a collector's item, so I got it from Best Buy, and I got it in my house, and I waited because the reviews were it's garbage. So I waited, and then it turned out that spinner was complete garbage.
I didn't get into that part yet.
And who was it that made a solution that actually made
it was Glenn. So
it was Glenn, but it wasn't not at that time.
I am happy to report I did return it. I basically took it apart, you know what I think I did? I think I bought another one. I bought a second one, brought it home. And then I took, because with Arcade1Ups, one of the other issues I had is you always got damaged pieces.
Yeah.
So what I did is I took the two and I took the best stuff from both cabinets and built the one ultimate 12-in-1. And then I returned the other one, but somehow I forgot to return the riser. So I had a second one of those
they didn't care.
Arcade1Up. Right. No, they didn't care.
Yeah,
they could care less. And I'm happy to report it's years later. I mean, this is all the way from Gen 1. This is before they even, this is when the control decks didn't even, come with a plexiglass on top.
Right.
Oh, wow.
The deck protectors, they weren't even out yet. They sent me a deck protector, and I still actually have, they were sending people the graphic to just lay under it because everybody's, if you played the thing, your
like
graphics would rub out off of the cabinet.
Yeah, they sent you paper and plastic.
So they sent you like a paper thing that you can lay over it, which I still have. I store it inside the cabinet.
Okay.
I loved it. But here was the thing. You couldn't, the trackball you can deal with, but the spinner, for some reason, someone came up with the great idea. Let's put a spinner that you can't spin. It clicks.
What? It doesn't spin.
It clicks.
What is the point of that?
So you can't spin the thing.
So never played a video game in their
so
life.
basically, so you really couldn't enjoy Tempest.
Indexed. It was like indexed. Like click.
Yeah, click.
TV remote control. Like remember those old TVs with the dial that you turn,
But fortunately back then I heard of this company called GRS and this guy called Glenn that was a miracle worker. And at that time it was very, very difficult to get his spinner and trackball. They were selling out. I fortunately kept checking, and then they showed up again, and I bought both of them, replaced them, and I'm telling you, it's such a great cabinet. It ranks up there for me, in my Arcade1Up. We're gonna get to the rankings, but it's up there at the top, and only because of once I put in, Glenn's control deck, it really fixed the whole thing. Fortunately, it's still working to this day.
Sweet.
Yeah,
I couldn't. Real quick. Let's go around till everyone gets a chance to. I didn't have any Generation 1 Arcade1Ups. I skipped this generation completely. Steps, you haven't had any Generation 1 Arcade1Ups. Is that correct?
I told myself I would not buy them until they came out with Marvel versus Capcom, or actually X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Okay.
And I kept to my word.
Let's just give everyone a chance to speak. Brooklyn already told us he got the 12-in-1. Ettinsoft, guys, have you ever had any of these Arcade1Ups, or is this all just new for you? Okay, well, thank you. Mikey J. This is who I want to hear. He still has a bunch of these.
I got 3 of them behind me.
Tell us about the
real quick.
Generation 1.
$300 for them. Not gonna do it. There's the asteroids over there. That's got the 12-in-1 PCB in it. When Arcade1Up used to sell those on their website, I ordered it. And so I converted that. It's got the GRS spinner and trackball in it. And I paid $50 for it or something like that.
Okay. How much was your Arcade1Up router?
$4.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay.
Am I glitching out? And then Pac-Man, I got that on clearance for like $100 as well, $75, something like that. I got the original Street Fighter behind me. I turned that into a it's a Switchcade now, so I got Switch running through it. And then there's another Asteroids over here that I turned into my Daytona USA. Okay. So there's actually 4 Gen 1 cabinets, and the closest one to being authentic is the Pac-Man. The only thing I changed on that was the controls.
Okay, so out of all of us here, Mikey J has the most Gen 1 cabinets. And some of them have been modded, and he has an amazing arcade tour. If you go to his channel, what's your channel's full name, Mikey?
MJP Games and Movies is my arcade.
Games and Movies. Yeah. And he has really, I mean, I know his internet's bogging down right now, but he has some incredible tours where he goes through, he shows you all of his cabinets, he shows you all the cool mods he's done to his cabinets. So definitely he's the one of us that has the most experience with Gen 1 cabinets, okay? So then time goes on, time marches on, right? Then they come out with this group of cabs. That was
people didn't like the non-light up, marquees.
Yeah, they were just wood, right?
Yeah.
I have no issue with it. I still think it looks nice.
Well, people wanted them to be more like a real arcade. And then they came out with Gen 2. And here we have some examples of the Gen 2s. Now, this is where I jumped on board. When I saw that Tempest, I mean, like, I am a lover of Atari. So, like, when I saw that, I was like, okay, maybe it's time to get into this Arcade1Up and see this Tempest Atari cab. And actually was not the first cab I bought, though. The first cab I bought was the Atari Star Wars cab.
Yeah.
And then the second cab I got was the Tempest. But when this generation came out, they were becoming a little bit more like real arcades. Like they had more of the look. You notice that on these, the form factors aren't all the same. The Tempest has that kind of triangular shaped cab. The Star Wars kind of has a different marquee on it. Big Blue, it has that real big, tall, light-up marquee. You can see Big Blue's right behind me in my background right now. And, we've all loved our Arcade1Up cabs. We've all played these machines. We've done, some of us have done YouTube videos on them. Some of us have not. But I thought it was a pretty big jump from the first generation to the second generation. Here's Big Blue by itself.
I was actually going to ask if that board was too low, but is this at a pretty good spot?
The control panel on Big Blue?
Yeah. It's a little low.
Yeah, it's too low.
These things stand like 5 feet tall.
Here's what I got, because I have it behind me. What I do is I pull up my chair here, my desk chair, and I wheel it over there, and I sit on the desk chair and play because it's angled too low.
Yeah.
I have an upgraded deck on mine. I don't even know if I move, if you could see it. You can
I see it. Yeah.
You got the Bobby Voo.
Nice.
The Bobby Voo. Yeah. So yeah, I could raise it. I have this thing here. Oops. Yeah, a bunch of stuff.
Breaking stuff.
Like a beer
I
can.
have this thing here recommended by Bobby Voo. It puts it on wheels.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I've got some of
There
those.
you go.
Well, I didn't put it. I didn't do it because I just sit in an office chair.
It doesn't roll away when you play?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta lock
By
it down.
the way, you are looking mighty good tonight with the Arcade1Up outfit. Very awesome.
Yeah,
fully representing the Arcade1Up brand. And despite
We're gonna call you for a job next week.
We are not haters of Arcade1Up.
They need a new shill. It's me.
Yeah, there it is. He's sliding in
Steps
good.
is available. If
looking
you,
good.
Looking
good.
If you're
That position has opened up recently.
I don't understand why can't Arcade1Up just get rid of the deck protector after all of these generations and just put a graphic on the top that won't rub out.
I hate
like
it.
At Games and iiRcade managed to do.
That cheap
They figured
plastic
it out.
that they put over the
It's
stickers.
an expense.
Yeah, maybe it's cost or something.
It is cost, yeah. It's a way to it's a way to make profit, keep the prices low. Okay, well anyway, I thought it was a big enough jump that now I had a real arcade before this. I had a full-on main cabinet that was built in a real Galaga cabinet that played all the games.
So what happened to that? Full metal?
I still have it, a full size, and it's all custom. It's all real arcade controls. But
that is cool.
The nostalgia of having several machines and having them have the authentic look of these arcades pulled me in. Okay. And this was a generation that said, hey, maybe I'll add a few of these, and then COVID hit and we were all locked in our rooms, we were locked in our houses and we needed some kind of hobby with some things to do that we can enjoy. And, it was a terrible thing, but it was probably good for this product because how many of us started building home arcades when we got stuck at home?
I've heard a couple.
I can speak for myself. I mean, I definitely started because I was stuck at home a lot, to be honest. So anyway,
I wanted to say real quick, I have Big Blue as well, and I tend to call it Little Blue because you can't stand up and play. You have to sit down.
Yeah.
That's fair.
What was their thoughts on that? That you're just gonna stand like with your arms like reaching down and play?
I think they were thinking you might sit on the stool. The stool height is fine.
The stool is still too tall.
The stool is too tall. It's uncomfortable to sit.
Those stools hurt my back, so I can't sit on them for too long.
I think it's a good enough cab. I'm not saying that's a bad cab, but they went for the design of the original Big Blue so much that the actual functionality of the Arcade1Up cabinet suffered. Like I said, it's Little Blue. It's not Big Blue.
That's not Big Blue?
Nah, it's Little Blue.
It's Little Blue.
Oh, looks big to me. Okay.
He needed the money.
I like what they did with the second gen, the Legacy 12-in-1, but I hear that one's like a ticking time bomb.
It is.
Why? They turn to a brick or something?
Yeah, their PCB heat turns to a brick. Arcade1Up knows it. So if you call, whether it's 1 year, 2 years, they just send you one, but they won't recognize it publicly. I know somebody that's
wow.
4 PCBs. I know. Just go on Reddit. It's a common problem. I don't know why they can't fix it.
So we're not even ranking it. Let's just get through the history. Okay. So we've hit generation 1. We've done generation 2. Then they come out with this beauty, Killer Instinct.
When did the YouTubers start? What generation?
I started at the beginning. I have videos back to P-Dubs and Retro Ralph's earliest videos.
Yeah. Dude, my first was after the 12-in-1 when it didn't work. That was my first Arcade1Up video.
I'd probably go back way before any of you guys. There's a guy named James Pagden. He's the Toy Room. He was doing live streams 6 months before the launch of Arcade1Ups, just talking about him. And every week he would go live and we would all, and nobody else was talking about him except for this guy named the Toy Room. And I think he's a mod on the Facebook page. And we would just every week just talk about it, and it got pushed back, if you remember. It kept getting delayed from July to August to September.
I recently
I want to speak just for a moment. I got into this because I started watching YouTubers. One of the YouTubers I really liked to watch was P-Dub's Arcade Loft, who's actually here right now. And I was a long time viewer of his channel. And I still love his channel. I think he's one of the best home arcade YouTubers. And P-Dubs is legit. So I kind of started this from a fan aspect, and then eventually I did my own YouTube channel. But I totally came from just being an average Joe, just watching these shows. And I do appreciate all the people that were covering these cabinets, especially P-Dubs. He's been a fantastic, person to watch.
Yeah,
I remember being very surprised to find out that people were actually doing live shows talking about home arcades. So, I had some conversations. I recently dug one up because I know Tommy C came up recently. He did a video. And I was like, man, I know this dude. I was like, oh yeah, I did a few shows with him back in the days, and we used to love to talk about the Arcade1Ups together because they had just been coming out, and and he absolutely loved them, but there was a bunch of them that he couldn't get because he was currently living in Germany at that time. Now he seems to have a whole room full that he's back in the States.
Awesome. So we're on. Let's get through these. So Killer Instinct comes out. Another big title, something I didn't expect them to get because I was like, how are they going to run this? I mean, they're running like Pac-Man and like these are old games, but when they got Killer Instinct, I said, well, that's going to be a challenge for them.
Now, is that the Killer Instinct that was on the N64 or the Super Nintendo?
No, this is the arcade game.
Arcade.
I only played those two. I didn't play the arcade version.
I remember that's
Is it 3D?
Emulated arcade
A company
version.
called Code Mystics handled the emulation for the cab. And, the Gen 3 cabs, here's some examples of the Gen 3 cabs. We had Killer Instinct, which I thought, Steps, you think that's a pretty good cab, right? Yeah. We're going to rate them in a minute, but I know Steps really likes this cab. And then they came out with these cabs, Generation 3, where if you move to the side at all, the screen washes out.
But the centipede actually looks like a centipede.
Yeah, I like
it. Does look like a centipede. Like they got the look right, but then they put cheap monitors in it. Okay.
Yeah.
Are they? Are those real coins?
You can see the washer right now on my screen. You can see the washer.
They've been upgrading them. Some of the earlier generations, they were just basically printed on the front because people had gotten tired of seeing all the names of the games. They didn't want that. They wanted more of an arcade
I never
look.
liked that. It's like, we know what games it has. We bought it. We know what games are on it.
They wanted a coin door, so then they printed a coin door, which looked terrible. Yeah, and now they're actually doing like molds of coin doors that really look nice.
I think they should just go all the way and like do a little compartment, because like we just keep a little piggy bank to the side of our iiRcade cabinet, so we can like save money by exchanging for rolls of coins, and then just going to the cabinet and paying for our games. So
but there's one element that Brad's leaving out. Every generation they're raising the prices through the roof for these garbage add-ons. So
really,
well, we're going to talk about the end. We're going to have a whole section for you to talk about what they can do, but we're just going to you're really slowing it down. We got to get through this.
Me,
Gen 1,
it's all your fault,
Wait,
what did I do?
Hear me out. Gen 1, no light up marquees.
Gen 15.
Yep. $300. $300.
Yeah.
Gen 2, how much do these just cost roughly?
500, 600.
500, 600.
Yeah.
Some improvements.
Do they feel worth the money?
How was Killer Instinct?
Some letdowns. Then boom.
Yes.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yes.
Another game that we thought that there's no way.
Dare you? I have that one, Kev.
Never get this one.
Do you play it?
No.
We're going to talk about
I'm
it.
going to turn that into my Switch cake, kevgret.
We had.
Oh, there you go.
Marvel
vs.
Capcom. I just want to highlight a few of these before we get into our rankings, because the fun's about to begin. Okay, the fun's about to begin. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I'm just showing before we do it, and then that brings us up to basically deluxe. These are the newest ones. You can see they are looking a little bit more like the real arcades. They have the recessed screens. This is Pac-Man, class of 1981. They came out with a Mortal Kombat. Now it doesn't have the bad monitor. And that's called the deluxe cabs. So this was just a quick overview of some of the designs. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the iiRcadians Facebook, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's just a quick kind of update. Okay. That was the first. That was my. We're just through the first note. Okay, we're ready. We're ready now to begin the content. Are you guys ready? Because we're going to count down.
We are ready.
Cabs.
Let's go.
But first, we got to hear from John, and Grover. Hold on.
Hi, John. What? Could you count to 10?
Yeah. I want to count backwards.
Okay, count backwards for me.
1, 2, 3, 4,
John.
5. What?
John, you know what?
What?
That's not really counting backwards. See, you count up to 10. Go ahead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Very good. Now that's counting up to 10. Forward. See, now we want to count from 10 to 1. Backwards, okay? Now here's how we do that. We go 10, 9, 8, 7.
This party off with Sesame Street giving us the countdown.
Number I thought this 7 was counting backwards.
Papa Brad has the most Arcade1Ups out of all of us with 8. Okay. Now, number my number 8 cab.
You
My
only
number
have
8
iRcade.
cab is Ridge Racer. It's my least played cabinet. I have to drive every day. I have commute time, and the last thing I want to do when I get home is play a game where I'm driving again. So also I found that Ridge Racer games aren't that exciting. I mean, basically you get to like the second or third race, like it just like the game just ends. It gets impossible. So my number 8 cab is Ridge Racer. My number 7 cab, and Steps is not going to be happy when I announce this one. Steps, you can do a live reaction, but my number 7 for Papa Brad, my number 7 cab is Killer Instinct.
Wow.
What's wrong with you?
That's a shocker.
It's just I don't play it much. I actually like Battletoads the most.
It's a niche title, Brad. It's not
I mean,
it's not a mainstream title.
I wanted to love it, and I do have to thank Steps. Got me an amazing deal. She told me when it was on sale. I picked it up. I thought, it's going to grow on me. I'm going to have it in my arcade, and I basically play Battletoads on it. So
Battletoads great.
Battletoads is fantastic.
Do you need to spend $700 for that, Steps?
And I did get a fantastic deal on it.
You have Battletoads on other cabs?
We're going to talk about Nick's number 7, because now Nick's can actually, he's got a cab. What was your number 7 pick, Nick's? Let me make it full screen.
I think it was Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was my number 7.
Wow. Number 7 pick for Nick's.
It's good turn to my Switchcade.
The Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Tell me, why would you take the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and turn it into a Switchcade? That's interesting.
Well, I can just expand the library. It's only got the 8 games on it, right? And I don't really need the online portion of it, so why not? I can get fighting games and more.
Okay, and we're only 100% talking about cabinets that we personally own.
Yeah.
Okay, so every one of these cabinets we have owned. Okay, sorry, we got to go back to John, and Grover for the next countdown.
6, 5.
6 and 5 brings in 2 new players in the game.
Kevgret
has actually had 6 cabinets.
I actually have 7. I forgot the Atari 12 in one, Brad.
Okay. Okay.
People think I'm a hater. I got 7 of these mugs up in here.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Let's start with Kevgret, because he's probably the least. People expect him to have the least, but he's actually had 7 of these cabinets.
Yeah, so my number 6.
Last choice for you.
My last choice is the Golden Tee cabinet, and it's my last choice because the versions the versions of Golden Tee are not the ones people want. They're the garbage versions. There's no spin, there's no roll, there's no backspin and all that stuff. There's no flyover, and the trackball, you just hit your hand. It's not meant to be played the way that they condensed it. If anybody's watched Rexer and I play on a real Golden Tee, you need to hit that thing and not the screen.
There's no wind up space, huh?
You need to thumb it, and that's not the satisfaction after a hard work day. So no, Golden Tee is last for me.
What's right below that? Right below Golden Tee, because you're each going to do 2.
Well, okay, so then my 5th one.
I'm sorry. Well, let's just do 6. I'm sorry. Let me go to Steps.
6, yeah, 6.
We'll go by numbers. Steps is up. Number 6 for Steps.
My worst cabinet that I've owned was Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Wow!
It's twice.
I sold it.
Damn.
I didn't even have it 6 months. I sold it.
Didn't even have it 6 months.
But I thought it was great. Everyone says it's great.
Here's what I'm going to tell you about that.
Where's Travis NDA? He said it was great.
Everybody kept telling me that it wasn't going to work online.
Yeah.
It was going to have all these problems. I was like, well, I bought Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and it worked great out of the box.
Yeah.
So I took my chances and I lost. Okay.
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 didn't work online for 6 months, and right before I got rid of it, I think they put it online, and it only had one background level, like the desert stage. I had problems with it just booting me out and take me back to the main screen.
Jesus.
My volume would go up and down on its own. It would select the wrong character, like I'd select like Mega Man, and it would select like Cyclops or whatever. And I after trying to play online with some people a couple times, I couldn't deal with it anymore.
Wow.
I couldn't deal with it either. So
what a failure.
Okay, hold on,
Jeez.
and let's put us all back on. Let's see who is not given their number 6. We need Nix is next.
Oh, what was my number 6 again? Oh my god!
I had to look mine up.
I have your list. Hold on, you can't remember? Do I need to do that?
Was it Pac-Man or Blitz? Was next? It was one of the two.
Your number 6 for Nix is
Blitz.
Blitz.
Oh, it's Blitz. There you go.
Number 6 is Blitz. Hey, look, I made cliff notes. Look, if you're not prepared,
you ain't gonna fool him.
He's
got
No,
you.
I made that list earlier in the
got
day.
He's a teacher. He's prepared.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, Blitz, because I don't play it.
Okay, Blitz. Mikey J Productions. What was your
For
number?
my wife likes football.
Your number 6.
Well, I actually have had 8 of these mugs as well, and my number 8 was Asteroids Gen 1. Number 7 was Street Fighter Gen 1, and my number 6 is Pac-Man Gen 1.
Okay, awesome. So, these guys made an amazing game. Make sure you check out Circus Interstellar. Available on Steam. $9.99
on Steam.
Thank you. I know this is probably gonna be torture for you, but we do appreciate you being here with us.
Oh, it's not torture at all. I'm having a real good time, guys.
Let me go back.
I don't have any games to add to the list because all we have is in our iiRcade. So
you're gonna find out. You're gonna find out. We're gonna tell you what the very best Arcade1Ups are. You're about to find out.
Yeah, I'm excited. Though Mortal Kombat, that's going to be at the top for me. That's like one of my favorite games in the world. So
excellent, good choice, good choice.
That and Smash TV if they ever come out with one.
Ooh.
Be careful what you wish for.
Oh.
So, has everyone said their number 6? So how about number 5? On number 5, who wants to go first?
I think it's Pac-Man.
All right, my number 5 is my Gen 1 TMNT back there.
Okay.
4-player controls. My only complaint is they changed the sound of the song on the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But owning that cab was always a dream of mine. I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan, and
awesome.
That was my go-to game back in the day. And if there's one like design of a cab that I always wanted above all others, it was the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I definitely have high nostalgia for that one.
Awesome. Number 5, Nix, you're up.
I think it's Pac-Man. Number 5.
Pac-Man's number 5. Kevgret, number 5. You're up.
I'm gonna deviate. My Galaga Countercade for $50. The one with Galaga 88 on it, and I just bought it because of Galaga 88. But the screen is too small. You just can't play those things on that screen. So that's my 5.
Excellent. Brooklyn, did you have a number 5 or you had 4?
My number 5 is going to be the Pong Countercade. Okay. I believe it's a very solid machine. No, you just take it out of the box. It's all ready to go. Spinners on that. They learned their lesson. They spin. They got some weight to them. Best game on it. Warlords. You can also play Tempest on it.
Warlords is great
very well.
Is it cramped, Brooklyn? That control panel?
It's not. I kind of like the way it's got that 70s wood grain look to it. You know, the old
cool.
Atari look.
It does look cool.
But it's Pong, when it comes down to it. And Tempest, although Tempest, if I didn't have any other way to play it, I would probably rate this higher. But I could play Tempest on the 12-in-1.
Yeah. Number 6 and number 5.
I already gave number 6.
My word. Just refresh my memory. What was
my
6
one
again?
after that, my number 5 is going to be the original Ninja Turtles cabinet.
Okay.
I bought a lot of cabs that I thought were good, for the most part. I don't have a problem with the OG Ninja Turtles cabinet, although I did buy it. It was a Walmart display that I bought from a liquidator, and then I redid everything. Like, it's got all Sandwalk controls. It got light up buttons. That's what my son wanted. It's got a light up marquee. It's got custom J panel. Like, it's pimped out. But the reason why I'd rank it towards the bottom of my personal list of the ones I've owned is because it's really only got 2 games, and it's really the same game.
Exactly.
Think about it. And after you play them so much, you get bored, and then you have this big arcade or this big
It's
3/4
just
scale
two
arcade in
games.
your
And
house.
that's-
It's a 4-player
yes.
taking up spots.
Yes,
You have more
yes.
cabinets.
One multi-K can probably play hundreds of games.
And it's
That's the
only
problem.
for 2 games, and it's like, this is
That-
boring.
Okay, we'll get to it at the end. Kevgret, he's holding it in. He's
That's the
holding it
problem.
in.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, I promise we're going to give you a chance to speak. My number 6 was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It was my least happy purchase because I paid the most for the cab. I paid full price for that mug. And it doesn't even play online, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is the number one reason I bought it. My number 5, and Steps is also not going to like this one, is Big Blue.
Wow.
I do love the games that are on Big Blue, but compared to the other games, I really have a love more for 80s games and retro games. So for me, my 6 was Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and my 5 was Big Blue. And that should be, everyone should have had a chance to say their 5 and 6 cabs. So that means we got to go back to John, and Grover.
Number 4.
4, thank you.
3.
3.
And 2.
For me to think of one.
4, 3, and 2. Okay.
They're ringing.
I can go first if you want.
Yeah, let's just go right down the row. We'll start with Mikey J.
All right, my number 4 is my Atari 12-in-1.
Okay.
The GRS spinner and trackball are a must to make that cab playable. My biggest complaint on it is not every game you can save the highest score. If you could save the highest score on every game, it would have been rated higher.
4, 3, and 2. Do not tell us your number 1 now. 4, 3, and 2.
And number 3 is my Gen 1 Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet. It's only got 3 games, but the 3 Mortal Kombat games you want. And you can actually unlock the characters from Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, which I don't believe you can on some of the later releases. And then number 2 is my Little Blue.
Okay. Awesome. And wait a minute. What do we have here? What?
Oh, P-Dubs.
P-Dubs Arcade Loft is telling us his top 5 games. Number 1 being Star Wars. Number 2, the Costco Super Pac-Man. Number 3, Tron. Number 4, Dragon's Lair. Number 5, Marvel Superheroes Limited Edition. How cool is that? And who's this guy? Do we know who this is? PD7 giving us his list of his top 5. Now, this guy has a lot of Arcade1Ups. Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Shinko Hadouken, number 1. 2, Star Wars. 3, X-Men. 4, Big Blue. 5, Mortal Kombat Deluxe. And we go to our next guest.
Humanity.
Here we go, Nix. You're up.
Nix.
Have us all the way down to, don't tell us your number 1, but you're...
All right, so it's gonna go
4, 3, and 2.
The Attack from Mars at number 4.
Oh.
Then it's gonna go my Ridge Racer.
Okay.
And modded.
Nice.
It's modded right now. So I've got a lot of games on that thing. So that's great. So that was what, number 3. Number 2 is Centipede. That's my number 2 cabinet.
Centipede, a great classic
Nice.
80s game. Is that a Generation 1?
No, that's
the newer one.
That's the one with the washout, which you can see
The one with a
right
little bit
now.
of a washout.
You can see the washout through the web
But
camera.
what a fantastic game. Who doesn't love Centipede? Centipede is just a classic 80s.
But it's a beautiful cabinet. They did a good job with the cabinet design on that one.
Shout out if you're not subscribed to PD7, make sure you're subscribed. He's one of my favorite YouTubers right now. He does great content.
Yeah, I think PD7 just passed Michael B for most Arcade1Up cabinets, and somewhere
PD7,
Michael's
man.
probably.
He's the king of the walk and talk. I mean, Phil is an awesome guy too. Thank you for participating. To all the guest top 5s, P-Dubs, PD7, thank you so much.
All right,
That's
so
great.
my 4 is the Ms. Pac-Man Cocktail Best Buy exclusive. I pulled it for $99. It looks great. The problem is when you have that big surface and put that little screen in there, it just looks really bad when you sit and play it. But other than that, the games list is pretty good on that. Number 3 is my Street Fighter Gen 1, only for the fact you can mod that thing with the Intex Switch Deck, and you need to do that. It takes that cabinet from a 0 to a hero. My number 2 is NBA Jam. It looks great. Plays.
Did he freeze?
my
Yeah,
number two.
I think he hit some buttons.
Grease.
Me?
Okay, I think you're back.
And he's back.
It wasn't me. I swear I was. Okay, sorry. Where did I leave off at?
NBA Jam.
NBA
All right,
Jam.
Yeah, so Jam is my 2. It looks
Okay.
great, plays great. It's just a 4-player cabin, and I don't have any friends, so it just takes up too much room. So I had to get rid of it after a while. So
I thought
How
I
many
was your
cabinets
friend.
do you still own that are Arcade1Up?
I
We'll talk
own-
about it at the end. We'll talk about the
Alright.
end. Save it for the end. Save it for the
Okay.
end.
All right,
Our next person, we have 2 special guests, top 5s. Who is this guy? Don't all speak at once. Michael B, the
Michael
Game
B.
Genie. Thank you so much.
That's
Michael B, the Game Genie. Amazing YouTuber. Great
That golden
guy.
axe is one I always wanted, but I just without the 4-player
Here's his
control
top
deck.
5 list.
Exactly.
Number
I
1,
agree,
Star
Brooklyn.
Wars. I see a pattern. Number 2, Tron. Number 3, Dragons. Look how similar P-Dubs and Michael B's lists are. A lot of the same
Because
games.
those cabinets are so
They're
original.
so good. Yeah, they are. They're great. I agree. Star Wars, Tron, 3, Dragon's Lair, 4, Killer Instinct Pro. So you got Killer Instinct in his top 5. And 5, Golden Axe. Thank you so much.
That's a good list.
Golden Axe.
And we're going to go to our next victim. You're up. Sorry, let me get Michael B off the screen. Thank you, Michael B, for
Hi, everybody.
All
So
the way down
we're
to
moving
number
on.
1. Don't say number 1, but
I'm not going to say number 1.
Okay.
So I'm going to start. So I already did number 5. We're going to start with go to number 4, and that's going to be Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Okay.
Beautiful, vivid screen. I think a great collection of games. I am just not the biggest fan of fighting games. I'm also not a fan of the artwork. I honestly think if you gave me an hour, I could have made that cabinet look better on the sides than what they chose to do.
Yeah, very weird choice for the graphics.
Yeah.
I gotta look that up. Yeah, I gotta look it up.
But from, when it's tucked in with a bunch of your other
Yeah,
cabinets,
you put
it
side
looks
by side,
nice.
you don't see
From the
it.
front on, it's just pretty much all black.
I've never been big on the pattern they have on the board. I don't know what you call
Oh
that,
yeah, you're
but
talking about
the gray.
That kinda
Oh
gray.
yeah, like the granite,
Yeah.
like the fake granite.
I'll tell you why
Should have
I
been
don't have an
diamond
issue.
plate. Diamond
I don't have
plate
an
is
issue
what
with that
they
because
use
it
in
doesn't
arcades
show
more.
fingerprints. And that's the type of game that you're going to do a lot of playing
Yeah.
on. So if they did something else, it'd probably be all fingerprinted up.
Yeah.
I could see
And
that.
that
yeah.
hides it. That hides it well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we're going to go number 3, and that's going to be Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer, beautiful cabinet, nice driving cabinet, lots of potential. With modding it if you want,
The games get
and
boring.
opening
though.
that thing up. The thing is that
You have to
those
mod it.
games were not meant for you to play that long.
Mm-mm.
No.
They're impossible.
Yeah.
Yes.
They just get impossible.
Yeah, that's
And
why
it's-
that's why the cabinet.
And literally every
it's the
game
same
on that
game.
cabinet is the same game.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
for a racing cabinet, the sound is absolutely awful. If you plug in, a headphone jack,
you have
it
to use
does
the-
sound fine.
Yeah.
But the worst speakers I've ever heard on a cabinet.
That's a bummer.
You need the
Yeah.
Logitech upgrade.
But
that
screen
everybody
very
did.
vivid, beautiful screen, looks nice from every angle. I think the steering wheel, for an Arcade1Up, it's tight. The pedals, once you put the upgrade, you just put the covers on top. And if you're not like too crazy on them, it'll be good to go for a while. It's fun,
Welcome to the show. If you just came in,
but like I said, you have 5 games on there, and they're pretty much Ridge Racer 2, and Rave Racer are pretty much all the same game. And Rave Racer is probably the better of the 3, and that's the only one that gives you Rumble out of the Ridge Racer games, which is a strange choice that they would have Rumble but not on the marquee game.
Yeah.
that is fantastic. Did you do your
Okay.
number 2?
No, number 2, we're gonna go to the 12-in-1,
Okay.
and
Wow.
it's-
The 12-in-1.
yeah, I love it. Still working after all these years. I take very good care of it. Still looks like brand new.
Looks like this.
Yeah. Well, mine has the riser, and I also
Right.
have an Asteroids.
Did you put in Glenn's
Arcade1Up
trackball
stool.
and spinner? Or
I
just
did.
spinner?
I got the trackball and
It's got
spinner.
the
Without the
Glenn's
trackball and spinner,
Okay.
I probably couldn't rate it because you really
It's
can't play it.
unplayable.
Yeah.
But it's so great to have a cabinet with games like Lunar Lander. Like I grew up on that stuff. And
And
those
by the
were
way,
like,
be sure to check out Circus Interstellar, available now on Steam. All right, guys, we're not leaving you out. I'm going to go back to Brooklyn.
don't sweat.
I want to
I'm
make
not
sure
worried
to
at
let
all.
everyone know. Okay, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
All right, now
it's
now
fun.
you can
There were some missteps on it. On Millipede, they kind of cut off the screen on the left-hand side. For some reason, they cropped it too much. So when you move your Millipede, like when you move all the way to the left, you're off the screen. But it was an early cabinet. Other than that, I think the games are fun. It was great to have those type of games with their authentic type control scheme in what looked like an arcade machine. So that's going to be my number 2.
You know, I want you to read this top 5 list and tell me, who is this?
Am I reading it?
You're reading it, yes. Who is this?
All right, this is Biggie D.
Attack from Mars Pinball.
Number 6.
No,
is
you got to do the
NBA
whole
Jam.
thing you always do. What is he? He's the, you have a special
Biggie
thing.
D,
Thank
the
you.
next big thing in home arcade on
There you
YouTube with number 6, NBA Jam. Number 5, Miss Pac-Man. Now, he's not saying what
Which
generations
one?
these are.
Mm-hmm.
4, Final Fight. That, I'm telling you, when I saw the Final Fight, I was like, yo, that really blew my mind because that was a game that I wanted to have in my home on an arcade. I was really impressed when I started seeing that. Number 3, Killer Instinct. Number 2, Marvel Superheroes. And number 1, Attack from Mars Pinball.
The Attack from Mars that broke on him for 6 months. Come on, Biggie.
Okay, so we're going to our next contestant on ranking your cabinets.
Oops.
If you've had a busy day at work and you're really tired, you need a quick pick-me-up before you get on the iiRcadians or some stream that you're doing. What you need to do is pick yourself up a nice 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. It'll give you that pick-me-up you need.
We're sponsored now?
Thank you.
In order to get through the show.
Or just drink antifreeze.
You can do that too.
And if you need a new wallet,
You're reminding me
check
that
out
I need
Ridge
to go get my Red
Wallet.
Bull.
Arcade1Up is number 1. Anyway.
Okay, but in all serious, you're going to tell us your 4, 3, and 2.
4, 3, and 2.
4,
Okay.
3, and 2.
So, not the way I have
All
it now. So
seriousness.
you got to subtract the fact that I have a Bobby Vu deck and I have a different PCB. Okay, but number 4, as is out of
But
the
you know
box,
these games. You know these fighting games cold, and you know these games cold. So
Yeah.
tell us.
So as is out of the box, I put Big Blue without the mods that I have because I feel differently about it the way I have it.
Okay.
Number 3 is Killer Instinct.
Great choice.
And number 2 is MVC1. I wish I never sold it. I sold it because I got MVC2. And I wish I just kept MVC1.
You wish you would have kept the MVC2. Oh, I mean MVC1.
Yeah.
Yes, the MVC1. Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. And I want you to read. Let's go with this one right here.
Okay.
Tim's Tiny Arcade.
Hey, Tim.
Shout
Watch
out to
Tim's
Tim.
Tiny Arcade on YouTube. He has a great
Yeah.
video that I saw today. He visited the Cidercade in Fort Worth, Texas. And I
Absolutely.
hear it's awesome. I saw a little bit of it. I got to finish the video. I'm looking forward
Fantastic video. I watched
Yeah, I
it
saw
today
some of
too.
that too.
Boom shakalaka.
They have a
One of my favorite YouTubers. He did send us his top 5.
to. Number 5 is Final Fight. Number 4 is Miss Pac-Man. Number 3 is Mortal Kombat with the 12 games. Is that the deluxe or the
I guess
gen-
that, I think that's deluxe
think
because
it's
it was only
deluxe.
10 on the original.
Okay.
And then you got number 2, Star Wars, and number 1 is Golden.
Number 1.
Get outta
number
here.
1.
Your
Which one
favorite
was number
Kevgret.
1?
Yeah.
Kevgret. What was the
He's
number 1?
Tiny
The
Tim.
Golden Tee is the best one. Golden
never-
Tee.
Tiny
It's the
Tim.
best one.
He's clear he's never played Golden Tee in a real
We're
bar.
gonna have a whole section for Kevgret, but yeah.
Golden Tee is number
Golden
1.
Tee is number 1. According to Tim's Tiny Arcade.
Tim's Tiny Arcade. Come on.
Loves Golden Tee. Says that's the best.
Very
Oh
crisp.
god,
Everyone.
I've never seen this. I've never seen that machine before. That's a cool looking machine.
Now, which Golden Tee is it though? Is it the original or the deluxe?
Oh, I don't know. It looks
Doesn't
it's
matter.
blue. It's a big blue machine. It's got a trackball in the center. It's got a big screen on it. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. There's another one next to it that's
Just a
it's a normal shape, and it's got like a brown on bottom on the side of it. I mean, the front of the cabinet's a lot of green. It's got a trackball in the center. It says Golden Tee 3D. That's probably not.
Yeah, it's the XL Golden Tee.
Oh, the
Yeah, that's the one with no riser.
No riser.
A little
And it
bit
has-
more space to
It's got
push the trackball.
shuffleboard and bowling on it.
But I guess a lot of people that got those also were having some issues.
Well, the screens are just complete trash.
Awesome.
Oh, so was he trolling there then? Is this?
He might have the first generation
Yeah,
one.
he might have the first gen, which is
okay.
the screen's better on that.
This is the one that kevgret was saying it
Is
was
the
too
worst.
close or something.
Yeah,
and
it's
you have to like do this with your thumb and yeah.
Yeah, if he's saying
Then
he's like
it's not
if
very fun.
Kev's running up on his like he's got the real deal and he's pushing. If he did that on the Arcade1Up, his hand would go through the screen.
Disintegrate the screen. It would just you can hit that ball up to 150 miles per hour. You can't do that on the 1-Up because you would hurt it. Yeah, it would be over.
Maybe
Welcome to
1-Up
the stream,
will,
Dom Juan. Welcome to the
under
stream,
the
Rich
table
Odello.
It's almost as bad as playing it with a joystick, right?
Oh, dude, don't even just stick your head in sand on that.
Okay, speaking of which, Rich Odello is in the chat. He's just one of the guys that always watches our show.
What do we got
I love
here?
that picture.
Look at this. Rich Odello, here's his list. His
Oh,
favorite
nice.
Arcade1Up cabs. Number 5, Big Blue. Number 4, NFL Blitz. Number 3, Ridge Racer. Number 2, the Defender Partycade.
Yeah.
His number 1 cab, Star Wars. I see
Man,
a
that must be a
pattern
good cab.
happening. I see a pattern happening.
Nice list. Nice list.
Pull it up right quick. I'll pull it up. Yeah, that must be a good cab.
And Nix, you ready to read one? You need to wake up, buddy. Here we go. Next, you're up. Read this one.
He's got to get up in the morning.
He's falling asleep. He gets up real early. He gets up.
So we go with we got number 5 is
Shotgun
Final Fight.
Sean.
Shotgun Sean.
Got out the shotgun.
Watch that gaming show. Congratulations. They just got monetized. Great
And
show.
number 4
It
is
was on
Street
last
Fighter
night.
Legacy, Mortal Kombat Legacy, Marvel Superheroes Limited Edition, and then Killer Instinct as his number 1.
Yeah.
Killer Instinct hits the
Nice.
number 1 for Shotgun Sean.
Nice.
Awesome.
I love
Awesome.
that you have Mortal
Awesome.
Kombat in there. That's good.
Okay. So I guess that brings it to me. Okay, here's my list. Let's see. Let me pull up my list. Okay, for number 4, got Namco Legacy Edition. That would be Pac-Man. That machine has Pac-Man on it. It has Dig Dug, Galaga, a lot of the classics. My number 3, the Tempest Cab. That has games on it like Asteroids, Tempest. Centipede is on that machine. My number 2, it's going to shock a lot of people. My number 2 is Star Wars. It's not my number 1. Star Wars is my number 2.
What?
Breaking the mold.
Star Wars is not my number 1.
I
You would
think I
it
know
would
what your
be,
number 1 is. I know what your number 1 is, Papa.
You can't blurt it out. You got to wait. But
I will wait.
You know who else loves Star Wars is T. McCloskey of Arcade Talk and Star Wars Review Channel. His top 5 arcade cabinets are 5 Street Fighter Legacy 2 Legacy, 4 Pac-Man the Namco Legacy Cab, 3 Star Wars, 2 Dragon's Lair, and 1 Tron. We got one more person, Punk Rock Dave.
What's up, Punk Rock?
Punk Rock Dave.
Dave's top
He's in the
5
chat.
games. Mikey, can you read this for us?
Number 5, we got Miss Pac-Man. Number 4, Midway Legacy. Number 3, Golden Tee. Number 2, The Simpsons. And number 1, Hadouken Street Fighter 2.
Hadouken!
Everybody's
All
loving
right.
this Golden Tee.
All right. All
Who's
right,
loving it?
man. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is.
I looked up something a second ago for the Golden Tee cabinet, and have you oiled your ball?
You don't oil your balls.
Don't
You
oil
have
your
to have the
ball.
balls properly oiled.
After the show, maybe.
That's a personal question.
Speaking of which, we have the product for you.
Steps, can you pass your Mountain Dew to Nix? Nix needs the Mountain Dew. Pre-Wars Blues says Nix needs the Mountain Dew.
Nix is fading fast. We gotta hurry.
Nix is fading fast. Nix gets up so early in in the morning.
Absolutely.
He's about to just drop off.
And he's in Canada too. It's
East Coast. Yeah.
He's on a different time zone than all of us. Okay, so thank you to Punk Rock Dave. Punk Rock Dave is a great supporter of the show. Punk Rock Dave is kind of like the average man, so I always trust. Like when he gives me his opinion, I know I can trust it. Punk Rock Dave is an avid arcade game player and an avid player now of wheel pinball. He goes places and plays pinball just like Papa Brad.
One more thing.
He's in a pinball league. Yeah, Mikey.
One more thing about Punk Rock Dave. He's actually the best content creator out of all of us in the home arcade space.
He does amazing content.
He's so good that he refuses to do content on it.
yes.
He's a real content creator, like professional. Like, we're all ham and eggers in comparison.
Yeah, you should play Circus Interstellar.
We have a special in the chat, top 5 from Chaotic
BPR.
Go ahead, you can read it.
Yeah, so his my top 5 Arcade1Ups. We got Class of '81, Star Wars, seems to be a popular choice, Blitz, Killer Instinct, and the Shinku Hadouken.
Awesome.
So we're seeing a trend with some of these cabinets.
Trends. A lot of these cabs they keep coming up, which tells you that they're great. Okay, but you know what time it is now.
Bedtime.
It's time to go back to Grover.
The next is time to wake up to go to work.
Yep.
Somebody shake Nick.
Yeah, somebody
Grover's
shake
my
Nick.
dog's name.
We're going back to Grover and John.
Chuck worked for him.
This is it. This is numero uno for all of us. So here we go.
Two. Let me finish it up, okay? The last one is what is it? What's the last one?
I don't know.
1!
Yeah, 1! Yeah!
That's pretty cute.
Okay. Now we're in number 1. And not only do you need to say what your number 1 is, but I'm going to put up you have to tell us why you picked this cabinet as your number 1 cabinet. Okay. So I put a little reminder. Okay. So we're going to, not only do you have to explain your choice as your number 1 Arcade1Up 1 cab, but you need to tell us why it is worthy of being the number 1 cab. And by the way, I want to remind everyone, Circus Interstellar is available
Steam
right now.
On Steam
for $9.99. Okay. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to bounce over to Mikey J.
My number 1 is my Marvel pinball. And the reason it is number 1 is because it knows that it's a virtual pinball machine. It's not pretending to be a real pinball machine. It's got 10 very good and fun and engaging tables. And unlike the Star Wars, you don't have to listen to the sequel crap. It's all just good stuff.
Yeah.
It's the best pinball machine Arcade1Up has done. So that's my number 1.
Excellent. Nix, you're up.
Number 1, Star Wars.
Number 1, Star Wars. Why?
Why? Because it's the best cabinet they made. Arcade1Up plays really good. I like the yoke. Pew 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 pew.
Where did your
because
Blitz
it's Star Wars, yo.
Blitz?
Unique controls. It has an authentic look of the arcade cabinet. Okay. Okay, you're gonna get kicked off the Rexer show. What is the number 1? This is it. Rexer's watching.
Golden Tee.
This is a positive actual comment. The number 1 must
What is
own
the number
Arcade1Up is the Defender Partycade. It is the best product. Why? Let's start with the games list. You have Sinistar, you have Gorf, you have Klax, you have Wizard of War, I believe, all appearing for the first time. You have an arcade authentic Defender layout finally, or as close as we've ever gotten to a layout.
Defender plays perfect on it.
You have the space. You don't need a full 3/4. It just takes up a counter. You put it right on there. And the price point was $120 you could have gotten it for and lower.
I know.
So that is why it is the best. So what does Arcade1Up do? They stopped making it.
They
Good
stopped
job,
making
Arcade1Up. Good
Okay,
job.
we'll get to that at the end.
All right,
we get a
sorry.
chance. I promise
I
we'll
had
let
to throw-
everyone speak. I promise you will get a chance to speak about
All right,
it.
drum roll, please. My number one, hands down, no questions asked.
Sorry, you're right.
Arcade1Up product
Number one
isn't
Arcade1Up
even
product
a
of all
full-size
time.
cabinet. It is also the Defender Partycade.
What?
Come on now.
You know, Brooklyn.
Really?
You know.
Every single game on the Defender Partycade is great. You got 10 great games, just like kevgret just said. Come on, Sinistar, Gorf, Wizard of War. You got Rampage on there. You got Root Beer Tapper.
Yes.
Clax is a great puzzle game. Defender with the proper control scheme.
Tapper too.
Yeah.
You got Gauntlet. I can play that all day long.
Hell yeah.
And Joust.
And it looks amazing. Like hanging on your wall.
Exactly.
Put it perfectly the same height as the control decks of the rest of your home arcade, and you're ready to go. It's got a little light up marquee. Yeah, the control deck is a little shallow, but man, the screen is the same size as
The
a
layout.
full Arcade
The layout
1-Up,
is
and
the
it's
correct,
crystal
Defender
clear.
layout.
It feels bigger, Brooklyn,
Buttons
when
are
you're
in the right
standing there.
spots.
Yeah,
Okay.
All right,
I mean,
Steps.
you can't go wrong with the Defender Partycade, but good luck trying to get one.
That's the
You can't get them anymore.
Now we go. Now we go to Steps. Let's give Steps the floor.
You know what's not available on Arcade1Up? This wonderful classic game called Berzerk. And if you love Berzerk and you like the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space, you'll love the game Circus Interstellar. Now available on Steam.
Plug.
Get it on Steam now.
Of $9.99, $10, whatever. It's not
$9.99. Look at Papa Brad with that big clown nose on. Look at that clown nose on Papa Brad. Go pick up that game. Go pick up Circus Interstellar. It's fantastic. Thank you guys for being here.
They really do need to make a Berzerk cabinet, though. Like, come on, like,
oh, that'd be so cool.
How is Berzerk not on an Arcade1Up cabinet?
Yeah, or Frenzy. It's like,
Frenzy's
Berzerk
on
and
there.
Frenzy. But we do love Circus Interstellar.
We have Frenzy on iArcade.
iArcade as Frenzy. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway.
iArcade has the ColecoVision Friendly. Let's not get into ColecoVision stuff though.
Back to my
Okay, back to
Number one.
Steps.
The number
Put Nick's
one
full
arcade
screen.
lineup
He's
for
like every
success.
audience member right now.
Yeah, he's
No, don't put me.
Nix has been up since real early this morning. Give him a
Nick's
break.
gonna smash a wall.
The number one Arcade1Up cabinet I have owned is the Street Fighter 2 Yoga Flame.
I knew you were gonna say that. Yep.
Which is similar. Obviously, it's the exact same cabinet as the Chico Hadoken everyone's saying is their number one. Except it's got a different look, but it's orange instead of blue. It's got a great games list, 14 great games. It's got a good mix because you get the Street Fighter fighting games. You get a slew of great beat 'em ups like Final Fight, like King of Dragons. You got some shmups on there that are fantastic, like Gigawing, and that other one I played the other day. I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Pro Gear.
Yeah,
And
you did a stream of it.
One
I
of the
remember.
best.
It's got a great games lineup, and you could get it pretty affordable, like $400 to $500 if you want the light up marquee in the stand, the riser. So it checks. I think it checks all the boxes. Other than the fact that it has the crappy 1-up controls, it checks all the boxes. So there you go, number one.
Well, no Arcade1Ups check the controls box, so
That's a good one.
Okay, awesome. And we're gonna get to Papa Brad, my number one pick. I mean, y'all, kevgret knew it long ago. Defender Partycade.
I know it. I know it.
They gave me Defender with pretty much correct control mapping. You can't play Defender without having the button layout like that. You can't play. It's a very fast twitch game. You need to have the correct controls. Not only did I get Defender, I got Gorf, which is another one of my favorite classic 80s arcade games. I got Tapper, I got Gauntlet, and I got all those great games. I just love the Defender Partycade. Like for me, I mean,
yep,
it's my number one video on my channel. 11,000 views. 11,000 views on my Partycade review. So I'm gonna have to go with. I mean, the Defender Partycade for me is the potential of Arcade1Up being actually reached. And, I would say for me, it was the best one for me personally. As an 80s gamer, someone that loves 80s real arcade, it kind of hit the right the right feel and the right games list. Wizard of War's on there. It's just, I love that cab.
I'm so pissed I didn't get it during that
I got it for a little over $100.
They blew them out for like $100 steps. It was nuts. It was crazy.
You had to get their name drawn out of a hat or something to get it for that, though.
Really? No, you just got a QV. It was on QVC.
No,
that's where I got mine.
Yeah, like QVC.
They cleared
I heard about it after QVC. And I tried to get it during the liquidation sale. And,
yeah.
The only downside to the Defender Partycade isn't anything to do with the cabinet. I just don't like how you hang it on your wall because you see that metal bar above it. I wish they did it in a way where you can hide it so you only see the cabinet floating on the wall. But I'm trying to think about a way to mod that where I can put it back up without seeing that bar on top.
Does that cabinet actually like stay on the wall or door pretty good?
It comes with 3 ways. It comes with these little door hangers, which I never use. They just put those inside one of my full-size Arcade1Ups to store it away. It comes with these big wooden legs that stick out pretty far.
Oh, okay.
If you
want to just put it on the counter. But I think the nicest way is neatly putting it on the wall and hiding the wire. So you just see that thing floating there.
And it's stable. It doesn't like move or anything.
It's stable. They have so when you secure it to the wall, it is stable on that bar. And then it has something on top that you can turn. And they actually want you to screw down into it, but I don't want to put a screw into the actual cabinet. And then they give you the bottoms to screw up into it so that won't move anywhere. But I just refuse to screw into it.
I wouldn't touch that.
I want to read this comment. I got a personal story I want to share about the Defender Partycade, and this is Richardello. He said he freaked out when his son knocked his Defender Partycade off the shelf and cracked his stand. Papa Brad came to the rescue and hooked him up with a new set, and I sent him those for free because that's just the way Papa Brad is. So there you go, Defender Partycade. I did not. I hang mine on the door, so I sent him the legs, so that he could enjoy it. So just an interesting.
My wife and I
story.
use those to stick fight each other.
Yeah.
So Papa Brad's got legs and he knows how to use them.
Yeah. You have a show you're gonna be playing music on soon. Huh?
I do. Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
If we're gonna plug it right now,
let's plug it right now because that was a good little thing to talk about it.
This Tuesday will be my first episode, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It's called Rock and Retro. I'm playing music and playing retro games. And I'm not worried about making money off it. We're here to have fun. It's gonna be on awesome. MJP Games and Movies and
MGP. Want my MGP?
I want my MJP. Yeah, and I was a musician earlier in my life, and so mixing retro games and music is always something that I kind of wanted to do. And I got the bug scratching, and I feel like it's. There's a little bit of a gap in the community for something like that,
Absolutely.
You can turn it on and do the dishes or whatever, like it's just gonna be real chill, and we're gonna play some rockin' tunes and play some games. Yeah,
sounds fun, dude. I'll be there.
Cool. Awesome. Brooklyn, what do you have coming up? What is this?
Finally, we've been doing this show for well over a year now, and it is finally happening. At Games is joining the iiRcade on the Friday night arcade show. So happy because you gotta recognize the community out there. I've seen in the chat rooms over and over so many huge fans of the At Games. We've all owned these products for a while, but if we were gonna put them on the show, we wanted to represent it properly. We wanted HDMI out. We finally figured out how to get that done. This week, the Friday night arcade show. Welcome the Legends Ultimate to the show, and we will still be doing iiRcade content. Look forward to seeing everybody there.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And let's see.
Hey, I got something I wanted to add.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. My number one, if it exists, would have been Gauntlet Legends.
Legends.
Everyone's Legends. I need that. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody's touched that game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's hard to emulate.
Yeah, I'll play it on my Rock and Retro show one of these days, though.
Yeah.
Nintendo 64 has it, doesn't it?
Gauntlet Legends.
The Dreamcast had it too. That you could play it on
the
Dreamcast.
original Xbox as well. Well, it's Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Dark Legacy. Love that game, man.
I also have it on the Dreamcast. That's a good.
Yeah, I want to go into eventually. It's fucking super. It's super expensive.
okay.
But I want to get
We're
the
in 19th,
legit arcade cabinet that had the 4 player setup. And it was like
dude.
semicircle. That was so
That
cool.
was really cool.
Yeah.
We got to play that over at the convention
Yeah.
last year. It was good.
You know, and
cool.
let's just get it straight. Let's just get it straight right now. I love Arcade1Ups. I love them, but you know who loves them as well? CT Jason.
Let me check these TVs out real quick. Oh, look, Arcade1Ups. I don't care. Let me see these prices. Oh, more Arcade1Ups. They better get out of my face with that shit. Nope, I'm good. I'm good.
Make sure you check out CT Jason.
He has no more space.
Nation.
Is that his top 5 list there, Brad?
And yeah, that was his top 5 list he sent me.
Love that guy.
CT Jason is legit.
My God.
I don't care.
Yeah, get out of here.
How many does he have? Why didn't you get his top
He has
5?
a gazillion.
He's got over 20 for sure.
Yeah, he has a
He's
huge
busy.
basement full of them.
He has
Sell
a
them
whole
all.
universe of He-Man figures that are having battles. He doesn't have time for this anymore. He has an
Right, who
entire
doesn't?
universe he's created.
Yeah.
So I mean, how many of us have created a universe? He has.
How many of us has played Dungeons and Dragons?
That's what I'm talking about.
Back in the day.
Long time
You've
ago.
created universes.
So really exciting steps. Your channel's been blowing up, man. You're almost. Tell us about the sweepstakes and your events you have coming up.
Okay, we're trying to get to 1,500 subs, and at 1,500 subs, thanks to Die For Bobby Vu, we're going to be giving away during a sweepstakes format, right? A Killer Instinct Arcade1Up, a Outrun Sit Down Arcade1Up, a PlayStation Mini, iiRcade stand, some other things. We're giving away lots of prizes.
Lots of stuff.
At 1,500 subs, I am at 1,420 subs. So we're getting close. And once that happens, and Bobby Vu is not in Vietnam or Thailand anymore, we will convene and have a stream.
Awesome.
And determine the winners. But you have to be present in the stream to win. And
I love it when you have to be present. That's the way to do it. That is the way to do it if you're doing a sweepstakes. You have to be there. You have to be there.
I'm not checking people's messages or any of that. You get in the stream, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, but how can you do it with everyone question mark on the wheel? I don't get it.
I don't have a wheel with question marks.
Oh, okay.
So you're not going to have a wheel with a bunch of question marks. That's awesome.
Sorry about that.
The guys from Ettinsoft should
Speaking of subs, I
subscribe
just
to
hit
Steph's channel.
2,200 subs
Yeah,
today.
guys.
You never know.
Let me double check.
Time to get some
When
free
Steps
stuff.
hits 1,500, you might
Honestly,
you can get your first Arcade1Up cabinet for free.
Cool. I want to subscribe to all you guys. And I'd love to. We both love to join you guys on your own separate channels if you're doing anything. But yeah, I'll check to see if I'm subscribed to Steps right.
Yeah. I was gonna say that the PlayStation Mini. That thing's pretty cool. You can actually we modded it. Yeah, so you can play like any PlayStation 1 game on it.
It's so much
super
better.
cool.
We're playing Papa Rappa the Rappa.
Did you mod it?
Did
you mod it with that blue crack stuff? Those USB sticks? Do you remember those when that guy's in jail now?
Oh boy!
They were all the names of different drugs.
Yeah, they were all drug names. So there was he put out multiple game packs for the PlayStation Mini, and he named them like crack, cocaine, and the guy's in jail doing like 10 years. He got caught.
Who is this?
I'll look it up. It's the guy that invented those drives for the PS Mini. I'm sure the chat knows. It was hilarious.
So,
yeah.
But he wasn't actually selling drugs though. So
no, he was selling ROMs. He might as well have sold drugs. He was selling ROMs.
Might have got less time.
Okay, we're on our next question. This is what kevgret's been waiting for. These next two questions. There's 3 questions left.
I don't even know these questions. What do we got?
These are the ones he wants to go. We'll let you start it off. What's
the question?
Are you buying more Arcade1Ups?
No, come on. There's nothing they can put.
Okay, here's question 2. The follow-up.
Okay.
What could Arcade1Up do to entice you to get a new cab from them? This is a two-part question.
Yeah, I mean, my full disclosure, my grail was Blitz. I said to Rexer, if they make a Blitz and it's done right, I'm buying it. Why? Because it's one of my childhood games. It's 4 players, and it's something that's infinitely replayable. Well, guess what? They shit the bed with it. So how can I trust them that they're going to do anything? Well, the Ettinsoft guy dropped the F-bomb, so I'm
okay,
yeah.
Go on now.
Here's what you have to ask yourself. Everyone in the chat, ask yourself this question. Is there anything in your house that you can't play right now that you ever wanted to play? Then why would you spend $700 for it individually, like Smash TV and Robotron, when you can turn it on right there? Any game is in your house. So there's nothing.
Games can play Robotron?
At Games can play Robotron.
Smash TV?
Really?
Smash, really.
And it plays it very well.
It's amazing.
And the marquee is amazing. So ask yourself this question. Why would you spend $700 for a dedicated total, Carnage, Smash TV, and Robotron when it's here? So Brad, the answer is it's going to be very hard going forward for 1UP to convince most people with their limited space, limited money to spend $700 on a real estate in their house for 2 games. It's just an outdated model that got outdated fairly quickly in the span of 2 and 3 years, especially when you got these 2 beasts behind you, and the Legends Pinball. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. The answer is no.
Awesome. Okay, a quick counterpoint. I'll do a quick counterpoint. I'm going to say you're never finished. You're never finished. If you love home arcade, you're never finished.
Well, yeah, no, I agree with that. But with Arcade,
are you buying more Arcade1Ups? Yes. What would entice me to get a new cab from them? And I'm going to be honest. I wait for the deals. I'm all about the deals. I mean, except for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I don't think I have paid more than $300 to $400 for any of the other cabs. Some of them I got for $150. I wait for the deals. There's no reason to overpay for these things. If you're patient, they all go on sale. So the answer, are you done with Arcade1Up? No. What would entice me to get new cabs? $200 to $300 prices would pull me back in. That's my answers for those 2 questions, and we're gonna bounce to steps next.
I didn't think I wanted any more, but now I want a Defender Partycade. Okay. Like I think the number one takeaway from that for them tonight. Yeah, it's a very easy takeaway. Something they could do really easily is make more Defender Partycades.
Exactly.
They don't have to make any changes.
It's number one of 3 of us.
Want to buy them.
Exactly.
And apparently even Kevgret could shill it.
Yes, I'll shill the hell out of it.
They've done it. They did it. They made a
buy it.
Defender Partycade not available.
I love the Partycade. There you go. Commercial.
It's other than that, it's really hard because like I want something that's better, but I also don't want to be like take all the money in the world. You know what I mean? Like even if I spend $500 or $600, I should get better quality stuff. I feel
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, like, look at what I bought. They were selling the At Games Legends Mini Gamer, whatever that arcade stick. I'm trying to figure out where I stashed it. It's right here.
I got one right at my fingertips.
Anyway, this thing here. All right. I feel these buttons. There's micro switches. I feel this arcade stick. It feels like an arcade stick. This thing, they sold this thing for as little as $50. And it's got decent controls.
Yes.
And you can play thousands of games. Thousands.
So awesome. So you hear what I totally agree, Steps.
So there'd have to be a quality upgrade. And there's a few titles that, I would look for. I'd look for a Third Strike. I'd look for Street Fighter Alpha. I'd look for a Robotron. I mean, those are the 3, but I'm not willing to overpay for it, and I'd have to get it really cheap to upgrade all the controls if they're going to keep up with the same controls, and I really don't want that. And I'd like them to actually improve their build quality, because when you take that panel, and you put it together, those little wooden dowel rods snap. It's like praying it goes together. You're like, please connect, please don't break anymore. I already broke 4 wooden pegs.
Yeah, where's my Q-Bird? That's all I want to. Where's my Q-Bird?
So there you go.
What's the hold up?
Make more Partycades. Those are already
What's the hold up?
Can I give my answer real quick? I am done. I've said it. I'm done because I don't want it to be like a cluttered mess.
Yep.
What would make me buy one? They really need to do something original. Honestly, like if they could ever pull out a Carnival cabinet, that'd be something I'd be interested in. Obviously, Smash TV, I love that game, and we know if they do Smash TV, they're going to do Total Carnage and Robotron. But kevgret already covered that earlier. I can go right to my right, and I can play all those games perfectly well.
Perfectly.
And once you get the bit LCD and the lights are out, it just takes on the look of the cabinet with the marquee. So I'm good on those. So really, they would need to do something that I just can't already play here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And I would say something like Carnival, even possibly if they did a really good House of the Dead cabinet.
Yeah, House of the Dead 2.
House of the Dead would get you to buy one, you think?
Dude, I love House of the Dead.
Yeah. I love House of the Dead too. Mikey J, we want to hear your thoughts.
So I've said before, I'm all done buying Arcade1Ups. And for the most part, I'm pretty confident in that. Daytona was one that, we hear rumors of it, but there's no way they're going to top the emulation that is on. This is playing on an Xbox 360 with a wheel with rumble functions and all that. Like Arcade1Up isn't going to top that. So even if they did Daytona, that's a hard pass for me. Gauntlet Legends would make me think heavily, but I think they would mess it up.
You think?
And then the Sega Model 2 fighting games like Virtual Fighter 2, and stuff like that. All of the Sega Model 2 is highly, forgotten. It seems like by all the arcade companies, none of them want to touch it.
What happened to Sega? Where's the Sega games at?
If you go back to the arcades back in the 90s, there were Sega cabinets all
packed with Sega games. Yeah. Great Sega games.
House of the Dead, Daytona, Virtual Fighter. I mean,
they were mentioned.
All these are severely underrepresented in our home arcades. So those would get me thinking. But again,
Don Juan has a real Smash TV. He doesn't need a cardboard. We don't need a fake one. He's got the real deal.
Dude,
here's my pushback though, Mikey J. Like I'm on Facebook, I'm looking at arcades, and they had a Virtua Fighter cabinet, and it looks gorgeous. $500, real thing.
Real thing.
What?
Yeah.
Real virtual.
Yeah. Well, for me, like I have those games on MAME with emulation and stuff, so I can play them. So it's not like I'm dying. Like I got House of the Dead on here and everything as well. So it's not that I can't play those games. So there's really after I converted my Street Fighter into a Switchcade, which steps you were talking about, Street Fighter, Third Strike and the Alpha series, they're all on Switch. And I was telling the guys, recently, like my little blue over there, all those Street Fighter games play much better, smoother on my Switchcade than they do on my little blue because they messed up the emulation on them. And I know that He Who Should Not Be Named did a fix on it. But having said that, they had one job. And they failed on it. I can sit there and boot up Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition or something, and if I try to do 10 Hadoukens, I'll probably hit 7 or 8 of them. On Big Blue, I'm probably hitting 4 or 5 of them. It's just something's off with the emulation on it. It just is.
Like that's a shame. It's
not more registering your.
Is that also the one that sits low? Is that?
Yeah. And I have IL sticks and hat buttons in both cabinets, so it's not a joystick issue. It's something's off with the emulation on it.
Like a delay or something.
Yeah, it's not arcade perfect.
Okay.
And the fact that you can get all those games on the Switch, I'm a big proponent of the Switchcade.
Switchcade's amazing.
It solves so many problems.
Switchcade. Yeah, every time you guys said Switchcade, I thought
Switch.
it was like a Nintendo Switch arcade or something.
It is.
It is.
What?
Yes.
It is. So basically, they sold Intex sold a control deck that you can replace in certain Arcade1Up cabinets where you can then connect your Switch and you can use your controller that can play all your Switch games on your arcade.
Mario.
I play Mario.
Yes. But
Dude,
not
I could play
just
Dark Souls on that thing, man.
But not just
That's
that,
crazy.
though. You can play not just Switch. It'll pretty much take any console because the way that the Bluetooth is set up and the input. So I have iiRcade. I have a bunch of videos showing. So it's a Swiss Army knife of Gen 1, and it's so amazing. Mikey J cannot sell it enough. It is. It takes your cabinet and puts it pretty much up there with any console, any game.
Okay.
I wonder if you could
wait, there's more. There's more. Question 8. Areas for improvement.
We're oh God, Brad, you saved the longest for last.
I told you would have a chance to speak. Areas for improvement.
All right, areas for improvement. Communication with their audience. They don't respect their audience. Quality improvement for the parts. Prices are too high. You're recycling the games too much. We're tired of it. Come on, guys. You need better release schedules. You shouldn't sell a Mortal Kombat and then 3 months later sell the goddamn same Mortal Kombat with the same games just as a deluxe. We can't have this anymore, and you've been doing it for too long. So what you need to do, listen to the community, give us our Partycade back, number one, as a sign of good faith, lower the prices, increase the quality, stop releasing Pac-Man, and give us better games this year. Sorry.
Can I go next? I want to add on top of
for
something.
improvement, Mikey J.
I agree with everything kevgret said, and I would also add to it, stop the BS games you guys are running on YouTube with your content creators and everything, and run a legit, respectable business.
Yeah.
Period.
Yep.
Yeah.
1000%.
Who wants to go next? Do you dare?
They don't want to go.
I kind of said my piece about the buttons and the sticks. Because obviously AdGames has got that figured out, and iiRcade did, even though they're not there anymore. The wooden pegs really piss me off. It needs to be something better. It really does. That's the worst part. I would rather them fix that.
On the iiRcade, that iiRcade cabinet is rock solid. It doesn't move at all while you're playing it.
I'd rather them fix that than the buttons and sticks, because I could put my own button sticks in, even though I shouldn't have to.
Right.
But the quality of the build is a huge issue for me. Inconsistency on the marquees. And telling me that I have to buy a Pro line for an upgraded marquee. What the hell is an upgraded marquee?
It's stupid.
It's standard. It should be standard.
For me,
sorry, I gotta say that.
I think kevgret hit so many points. Big thing for me. Yeah, stop with the Pac-Man already. We're not saying Pac-Man's not an awesome game, but we don't need 7,000 Pac-Mans at this point.
Pac-Man.
Honestly, when you walk into an arcade, usually the first thing you see when you walk in is a Pac-Man. But that's not who's walking up to it anymore. Like that's
nobody.
Like we want to play different stuff. Like the community has been telling you the games they want.
Yes,
but
they don't
now,
listen.
Now they're moving into like arcades of like the new generation for kids nowadays, but it's like I don't know. I think they're making mistakes that way. My biggest thing always with Arcade1Up is that I have never purchased one that did not in some way come damaged. I wish they could figure out a way to actually just better quality control when they pack the stuff up. They do seem like they stepped up their game on that, but still you can never get one of these things out of the box without some sort of defect or damage on it. And I think a lot of the Arcade1Up community, they're always talking about form factors and how the cabinets look. Maybe that's important, but once you tuck them in, they're all lined up. What really matters is the game. Like that should be the number one focus before anything is make the freaking game work the way it's supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When they send in replacements for your screen, are they sending in glass?
No. And
that's it. I mean, that's pretty much all.
I'm going to go with
say.
mine. The biggest area for improvement is pricing. They've gotten more and more expensive. In my opinion, they're pricing themselves out of the market for what they're doing. I mean, if you're going to charge a lot of money, it better be high quality, When it was $300, it was okay. I knew I was going to replace all the sticks and buttons. I knew I was going to have to work on it. But when it's $700 and I have to basically gut the machine to make it where it's something I'm happy with, that's a problem. So my number one area for improvement for Arcade1Up would be pricing. They're getting too expensive for what you get. That's my opinion.
they're getting so expensive that people are actually realizing I can get the actual arcade for either cheaper or a little bit more. So people are moving in that direction.
Yeah.
So,
you know what though, Papa Brad? Here's
what's
the
that?
thing, man. When they were
listening.
selling them all for 300, but see now they sell them for 700, and then 2 months later they sell them for 400, and then 6 months, 12 months later they sell them for 150. So there's no consistency.
No. Yeah, the thing is, when they start at 700, and in 6 months I'm paying 200 for it. Like, I mean, if I paid the 700, I feel like I got gypped, don't I?
Well, why would you buy it at 700 ever?
I don't anymore. I will never buy one. The only one I bought at full price was Marvel vs. Capcom 2 because I wanted it so bad.
You had to pre-order it.
I had to pre-order
it. If you
it.
didn't pre-order it, you're missing out.
I would miss out. FOMO got me.
You fell for it.
Machine.
When you got 10 content creators pushing,
FOMO.
You got to get these pre-orders. They're
you don't be ass out.
You can't be assed out.
Yeah, they're pushing the FOMO, and then Arcade1Up's making their money off the pre-orders, and then after they get that crowd, they lower it down, and then they get another bit of money that they make around 300-400, and then when whatever they got left, they clearance out.
If you're going to shill for something too, you should always shill for the best price for the consumers and the best quality. There's two things that I feel like I want to shill for, and that's a good price for the people that are buying the machines, and for the good top quality. That's what we should be shilling for.
Arcade1Up is a fantastic product for 150, 200, 300 price range. Above that, that's when the issues, I would say across the board for all of us start, popping up.
Absolutely. And also, don't forget to pick up Circus Interstellar, an amazing game that is out right now on Steam for $9.99.
If you love classic arcade titles like Berzerk and love clowns like what that appears like on screen right now.
What about Frenzy?
Right now, go to Steam.
Four players. It's awesome.
Yeah. Unlike the iiRcade, it's got 4 players.
You can play 4-player on Steam.
Yeah.
And unlike the iiRcade version, it's actually out.
And it's not. Is it $700 or is it $600? How much is your game?
How many hundred is it?
It's $800.
It's $800. Oh, I gotta get
How many hundred is
it? We can give you a deal for $400.
Yeah, I knew if I waited, I'd get a deal.
I'll wait next month. It'll be $150.
Oh shoot!
Mitchell Delos making his little comment on something they can improve. His final straw was what they did to customers who bought the 149 Ki. Then they said they had none. Then a few days later, it came up in the store at $5.99. I'm not going to read the rest.
That's
$599.
The guys from
we don't
Ettinsoft
have
will read
any.
the end.
We don't have any.
He forgot to put some words at the end. What I don't know what he stopped typing.
Listen, some letters.
And Goofyfoot's kind of like where I'm going. Like my number one criticism of them is like if the prices have gotten out of control for what you get. That's my main criticism, You're
gonna forget about it because they're having a big sale coming up.
And we'll be talking about that tomorrow night on Arcade Talk. Tune in. They will be better off going back. This is from Goofyfoot. They would be better off going back to Gen 1 and let third parties upgrades have their market. I mean, when they were $300, I was actually happier because like it wasn't, I didn't mind putting in the work to mod them to make them what I wanted,
Yeah, these companies, they don't think about how it returns when you give to the audience.
Absolutely.
Like when you give to the people who are buying your console or your cabinet, they want to buy it more if it's reasonably priced, and you are caring to your customer. If you just are going for the quick buck, you're gonna get a lot of money like right away, but then you won't last.
And quickly be pushed out of the market.
Yeah, and they don't think about that.
Yeah. And Dawn was saying, ouch, hurting my iiRcade feelings at Ettinsoft. It's okay though.
I'm sorry.
Once he who shall not be named finishes all this business with the
we're not gonna have any problems with getting games.
That's right.
Yeah, supporting indie developers, and that's my thing too. Like, Papa Brad purchased every iiRcade game. I bought them for the most part. I mean, I might have gotten one or two occasionally, but for the most part, I bought all the games. And I don't mind buying games. I will pay for good quality games that are, well emulated if they're classic arcade games, or good quality new modern retro games. I'm all about that. I like supporting developers and buying the games. I've been playing them for free for years through emulation, and just do it right. If you're going to do it right. That's my point. If you're going to do it, just do it right.
So I have a little Circus Interstellar story I want to tell real quick.
Okay, let's get you on full screen.
This is going to upset some people in the audience, but this is just how I am. I had the opportunity from Jong himself to get a code for that game, but I was on vacation at the time, and I actually just got home today. So it was like I didn't really have the possibility to download or anything. I kind of wish that I would have gotten it though and done a giveaway on it. But yeah, I'm like the one person in the iArcade community that could have had that game and turned it down. But I'm gonna get it on Steam. I'm gonna get it on Steam.
You'll get it soon enough.
It's all right. And then once we get all that business taken care of, it's going back on that system.
It's going back on there, and we're all going to be able to play it. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
Back to the trial of trying to figure out how to get
it to run good and smooth
on that damn console.
But
we gave away 10 codes. They were all successfully installed on the arcades. No problem.
Did Papa Brad ask for a code for himself? Did I ask for a code for myself?
No, I didn't ask for a code.
I didn't. Me and Brooklyn did not. We gave those codes to the. Gavin 10 codes. We gave 10 codes away.
I got Nix's code.
Nice. Okay, actually, no, I'm silly. I see it running in the background on Brooklyn Menace's thing. Yeah, that's cool.
So, let's see here. What is this? Let's see. 1UP is leaving their devoted base, begging for the masses. They need to play both sides of the field, and we will buy additional ones. The masses will not. In other words, he's saying they need to look at some of the other titles they're missing. Things like Qbert. I mean, like people that are into 80s games love Qbert, and it's a unique game. Like you can't set your arcade up to have diagonal controls. It's like it's a unique experience,
There's a simple way to do Qbert because they don't want to make these 3/4 scales and pay for all the shipping and deal with all of that thing of it because it's going to cost them a lot more money.
Make a partycade
that
we can hang on our wall,
our door. At the same time, you re-release the Defender Partycade.
There you go.
Happy.
Look,
one takeaway.
Look, Arcade1Up. We're giving you the $1 million ideas right now. Here's what you need to do right now. Arcade1Up from the iiRcadians. You need to release the Defender Partycade.
Free the Partycade.
Qbert. Put Qbert as a Partycade right now.
Free the Partycade.
And then, while you're at it, since you own all the rights to the Raiden games, release a Raiden's Partycade.
There you go.
Arcade1Up, before you release it, you need to just send me an email that you're doing that so I can sell the one I currently have for $900.
$900, yeah.
And then I'm going to buy a new one for $100.
Yeah, and let's get it straight, too. I still love iiRcade. I mean, half of the ROMs on the DIY multicades have issues. That's why the iiRcade games were worth purchasing. They went through every game and made sure the game was optimized.
Yes.
And then when iiRcade was around, they gave us an amazing leaderboard system that was fun. You could get on the leaderboards. And I liked what they were doing. It's a shame they didn't make it. I did fully support iiRcade, but
too early. It's too early. Yeah. They went out too quick.
That's what I'm a shill for the Switchcade because you have the store where you can buy officially released games. All the bugs are gone. They run great. They play great. Because I have thousands of games in emulation and like Goofy.
Yeah, we all do. We all have millions of ways to play these games.
Don't work right.
They don't work the way they should.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
So getting an officially released product is always my preferred method.
And I do want to shout. Alfred Berger got one of those codes, and he says he loves the game. I just want you guys to hear that directly from Alfred Berger in the chat. Got one of those 10 codes that we had at this.
Heck yeah, cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
And so that being said, I think that was my last talking point. The last things we're going to talk about is what you got going on. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about before I kick us out?
Well, Brad, I went to Nashville last week and I went to the game terminal on your recommendation, and I got a video coming out shortly on it. But let's just say it is one of the best free barcades I've ever been into. It's
know.
amazing. I'm glad you recommended it to me because I didn't know it was out there. Thank you for that, and I'll be putting a video out. Just a quick walkthrough. It's free. The games are free except for pinball. Every single arcade game is free when you walk in. There's no cover charge. You just go in and start playing. And they have hundreds of them.
Absolutely.
It's just amazing.
I just went to the Berzerk in Baton Rouge, and they do the same thing. Every game, every arcade game is on free play except for pinball. And pinballs were like the games that like a lot of the Williams games that I love, they were like 50 cents to play. They weren't even $1.
No.
And then they had all the prices on pinball were a little bit down too, but I think that's a fantastic way for these barcades. You hang out there for a while because they have all these games that they got the honey, to keep you there. They got the pinballs. They got all the arcades on free play.
You get some drinks, you get some food, and you just have a good time. And
that's not the love.
What's the place called again?
Yeah.
Brad's place was what? Brad, what was yours called?
Berzerk.
And mine was the game terminal in Nashville. It's about a 10-minute ride from downtown Nashville. Uber ride was like $10. And it's amazing. And I just want to say one more thing. Brad, when I was walking around this game terminal, I was seeing adults, all ages and sizes, smiling and acting like they haven't played these games in forever.
I know, they're still great.
And I'm standing there saying, guys, we have all this available in your home. Do you not know? And it's like, my question is the message getting out to the masses? Like I watch somebody play Moon
love
Patrol.
Arcade games.
I personally think that there is something you can only get going though to like an arcade.
I agree.
A full-blown arcade full of people. I still remember the like a lot of fond memories of like going to these dark arcades and stuff and playing and just having a wonderful time with like complete strangers
and they just come gather around
people and stuff.
It's the magic of going on location and playing arcade games and pinballs. There's a magic to it,
There is,
now that we're not locked in our houses anymore, I mean, it's time to get back out there.
Just to prove that point, I was watching this woman play Moon Patrol, and she wasn't that good. And then I started to play, and she left but came back. And she said, how did you get by this? And what was, I don't remember that. And we were just talking, and it's like strangers coming together, showing strategy and playing Moon Patrol, a 1982 game. And we were just hanging out, having a great time. And that's stuff you don't get in your house.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the best way for like nerds to meet other nerds. It's awesome. I love it.
It was
it's
awesome.
You can't replace it. You can't replace it. I mean, not to diss on a home arcade, which is awesome.
I agree.
Man,
it was very contagious. The fun and the atmosphere in this place. So I'll put that video out hopefully in the next day or two, just so you can see what it's like. But Brad, if it's any place like you went to, it's going to be amazing. For people
they're
to see,
fantastic. So. And if you want to find out of some arcades, go on YouTube and look for find some barcades and arcades in your area. And look at arcade tour reviews. My channel does a ton of arcade tours.
Yeah, I've seen some of those.
And I basically walk you through the arcade. I talk about the history of the games, talk about what I love. Who else does some good arcade tours? This person right here does some good arcade tours.
I've done a couple.
Galloping Ghost is an epic arcade tour on your channel.
Yeah,
I love that arcade tour.
I've done Pinball Land recently in Grand Rapids, Michigan area. Rockford, Michigan, and it was you pay $20 and you could play the pinball, you could play the arcades. It didn't matter. It was all included with your admission, and that was really fun little side trip on my way home from northern Michigan. And what else have I had on there? The Pinball Garage in Hamilton, Ohio. They have like every pinball table I've ever seen from like the 80s on. It's like 100+ pinball tables. It's crazy. And that was a really cool stop that I did there. And I did that live stream there. I'd like to visit it again. Maybe do not a live stream, get some better footage. I've done Logan's Arcade when we went on that trip with the YouTubers. Logan's Arcade in Chicago. That's really cool too. And,
you have what was the other arcade you had on your channel, kevgret?
I've gone to a couple. I've gone to Lucky Strikes down in Atlantic City. There was one right outside of Atlantic City. And then I went to one in 5 minutes from my house called RAM. area. So I've got a couple on there. So this will be my 4th or 5th one. And Brad, you're the one that inspired me to go out and start taking these videos of these local arcades. You started it, and then I said, "This is great." So I want to show people what's out there. So I appreciate you starting it.
Those videos are evergreen. They'll just like live on your channel, and people that want to check out that arcade are gonna go check them out. It's great.
I appreciate you motivating me to get out there and look at this stuff. So thank you.
Okay. Oh, I mean, they must have popped out. There we go.
Press my bad button. I can't log in because I was like, oh, well,
that's okay.
Just log in so I could chat with people on comments, and then it booted me out.
That's okay.
Brad, I want to share. I want to share a video in the chat. I'm going to do it, but it was. I used to work at an arcade that was owned by Blockbuster Video. It's a test market thing.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Blockbuster arcades. They had one in Florida that I used to go to all the time in the 90s.
I love that.
They actually had that huge from Sega, the one that they have at Galloping Ghost that you actually go inside and fly the jet plane and it flips you upside down.
Afterburner.
That sounds cool.
They had that.
Yeah.
What's the one they have in Galloping Ghost that it's hidden in the back room?
Oh, I gotta go.
That thing. That thing.
You were on it, right, Steph? Well, they had that
X360 or something.
I didn't
even know what it was. I didn't even.
I used to
know
go on it
existed.
like every week.
I went to Galloping Ghost. I walk in and I run into Console Kits, and Console Kits is like, "You made it just in time. You got to go see this arcade before they shut it down because it's in the back room. We're getting a special tour." And I go back there. And it's like an afterburner thing, right? And so they're like, "Here, you need to get in." And I get in. I have no idea what the heck this thing does. And then the next thing I'm doing is I'm going upside down, spinning around in circles, trying to straighten out this jet. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I hope I don't have a heart attack. Oh my God, I hope I make it through this." And then I went through the damn thing. But
very dark.
It was crazy.
You see here, they got like this Aerosmith looking generic guy on the screen and people hanging out and partying.
I had to find like.
I didn't do private parties ever. I mean, I probably provided food for them because I worked in a restaurant too.
The logo.
I did a lot of jobs there. I did not mean to do that.
I worked hard
didn't know I
didn't
could
get
do
too
that
many views, but
with
like
my joystick.
I really wanted to document my experience.
That's interesting to know. I could do that with my joystick, my arcade.
That's
stick.
the block party, huh?
Anyway, yeah, they had more than the arcade. They had like a McDonald's play pit for
kind of ugly. I remember
like,
going back here several times to one of the managers,
where like the seats
and
move and stuff.
You know, after work,
and you know, I told Casey it was pretty cool.
And then go play Daytona USA,
Blockbuster Arcade.
Wow.
Block party.
You know, just have a good time after work. And you know, I was 18 at the time, so I wasn't even of age. I remember driving home drunk.
Oh, and I already listened to my drunk stories.
Oh my goodness!
Whoa! What did you just say?
I was 18. I was underage, and I could get drunk at work.
Oh my God!
When you're 18, you do stupid things, and that happened.
That was the manager's idea, not mine.
Block party.
This is a great. Yeah.
You know.
Go watch
that link in
I
the
remember
chat.
this room specifically for the after work hangouts. And there's the restaurant. I did after I worked as the Go Motion person for a while. I took a job in the restaurant. Like later on, I came back and worked at the restaurant after I left. And I did that because it was more money. I think it paid like $7.50 instead of $6 or something. I don't remember. You know, at the time, you're like, "Oh boy, I get more money to work at the restaurant." I had no restaurant experience whatsoever, and they gave me no restaurant training whatsoever. I remember the man, one of the restaurant managers named Chris. He taught me how to empty the beef fat fryer, which is one of the grossest jobs I ever had in my life, actually, because you'd have to take this little cart on wheels and wheel it out to the back, and then dump this oil. It was just, ugh. I did remember being taught that, but anyway. You know, flat top fryers, things like that. And then, you know, you're a kid, so you do stupid stuff like throw a hamburger in the fryer. You know, somebody ordered
throwing hamburgers in the fryer.
I had no idea how to make a Caesar salad.
I wonder how. Look out!
So I just kind of put some lettuce in there and dumped a bunch of Caesar dressing on it. I remember Chris coming back.
Who made that Caesar salad?
No, I don't know how to make a Caesar salad. I mean, you guys hired me with no experience whatsoever and expect me to just know what's in a Caesar salad or what to cook. It wasn't like now where you just like Google stuff. Oh, Google how to make a salad, you know, because you didn't have a phone on you. It was just different. And I remember like when I worked there on like Friday nights, like the waitress wouldn't show up. So I would have to be the waitress and the cook and everything, and I would go like. I would get beers for everybody, even though I was 18, because nobody else would do it. And I got all sorts of tips. I got good tips for getting people beer, but I totally illegal. Shouldn't have been doing that.
Oh man, Stubbs, this is like a tell-all.
I mean, this is a lot of
this is all
because they didn't know how to manage.
Where do you talk about the games? Is it like in the middle, the beginning?
It's somewhere in there. You picked the part where I talked about working in the restaurant.
I must have
Hold on, let me rewind.
30-minute confessional.
I know.
Yeah, we could get Blockbuster shut down for
that. This copyright strikes.
Go motion theater. Out and had the ride running.
I was talking about the motion movie theater that was in there and everything.
I remember the most. It's like there's this lava, and this went on for like forever. You're going through the lava like most of this movie. It looks like it's very. See here on the far right of the building after you enter. There's the pinball area with the
Steps is serving 12-year-olds
on the left side of my screen, and then here's the arcade and skee ball and basketball hoops and air hockey and whatever, you know.
That's cool.
But
so you're
what an awesome job
selling for underage and doing speedball.
Yeah, I know.
One of the
Steps, I wrecked my car after you served me 30 beers. I'm
then this picture wasn't taken from there, but I remember it. So I got a picture of it. The Harley Davidson, we had two of them.
I love playing that
each
game.
Other, or, you know,
I've never
work
even
together.
seen that one. That's cool.
The Sega Harley Davidson
that you sit on.
Kind of
yeah,
I see that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, really
Time
fun.
Crisis 2. I'm not sure it was 2 or 1 or what it was. Was it definitely Time Crisis with the huge screens? I remember playing that. It was really
got 24
cool.
people watching.
This is a Marvel Capcom. This is after Closure, and I was really sad that when they got in this place after Closure,
great video.
Marvel Capcom was kind of in rough shape.
I'm gonna watch this now. I want to see what else she was into.
Coke too. Don't forget
yeah,
that.
And these arcades are those gray ones. They're just like what they did to have old titles. They didn't have the actual Centipede arcade. They
Centipede,
like old plucky gray looking things, you know, and you could see they have like the Arcade1Up plexiglass on them.
That is such a boring looking cabinet.
And they would play the
Centipede.
game on these generic gray cabinets.
Oh my god!
And so that was cool. Oh, we had an 8-player Daytona USA with the big screens.
Even
like this was a lot of fun, and I can't tell you how many evenings that after work we would play Daytona USA. And
after
work, I passed it already. There was an X-Men Street Fighter cab.
Pop open the machines and play.
Played X-Men versus Street Fighter. I remember I was talking to one of the game techs, and he wanted me to play this game with him after we closed, and I just remember how it all I was like, oh my god, because I love Street Fighter too. And I'm like, this is X-Men and Street Fighter, and this looks like cartoons. Like, this is great. And that was when I first played it. And after that, I found out, I did a lot of research online because I had internet back then. And I found out there was Japanese versions for the Saturn, and I could play it at home. And that's how I got into the Versus series. And it was like that. It was a big black cabinet, just an X-Men versus Street Fighter. And I remember playing a bunch of people there, and I would, I eventually started beating them all, and they all got mad.
Love these.
And not that I was any good when I got the Arcade1Up, but like, man, I just remember beating them all, and maybe this is why I thought I was good. But when I, got into this scene, I realized I really.
How cool is it? You can get all the dirt later. You can go to the end of the video. We're gonna get to the part about the games.
Oh, we had Hydro Thunder, like 1 or 2 of those.
It's a great video.
I love that game.
We had
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Dude, they just put a Jurassic Park cabinet in the pizzeria close by our house. Yeah,
nice.
Dude had some cool chops.
Yeah, too bad it's broken already. Yeah, too bad I worked there
walks into the arcade and the pinball at the same time.
I want to go back.
Oh, there we go. 8-player Daytona.
8-player Daytona.
There you go. I love how all the screens are connected like that.
You wouldn't go
yeah, we used to sit there for hours
to not get drunk. I mean, it's just what it was. And there's after Closure. You can see they still have the skee ball there. This is actually from the block party after Closure from that Indie DDR website. And,
where's the Arcade1Up skee ball machine?
Quite a bit of skee ball. That's how you get a lot of fun.
Dude, that sounds like
Steps used to, instead of using the skee ball, she used to use an 8-ball of Coke.
Got 25 people in the chat. They want to hear all the
Six,
story, all the dirt
party
on
room.
steps, all the clips you
so
need.
here's the party room, and you can tell this
Been
is
on
after
our channel
closure.
the
The
whole
doors
time.
are removed.
party room.
This party
Man,
room
home
was
speedball sounds
themed,
Crazy parties back there.
Looks
you
like
can
Vault
see it
Tech
in the back left
344.
here. You can see
Like Vault Tech, yeah,
where
from
it was
Fallout.
is right next
Yeah.
to
Going
the
in the
moving
vault.
picture show and the restaurant. And let's see. Oh, that's the restaurant. But see, it was coral reef themed and very 90s, very coral reef.
Yeah, super 90s. I love that.
I don't know what
This
they were
is
thinking
his
here.
mullet.
I mean, coral
All this
reef, like a
nostalgia
water.
talk.
And I remember
Let's
going
make a
back,
comeback,
it's
Goofy Foot.
very dark. You can see here they got like
The
this
mullets are
Aerosmith
making a
engineer
comeback.
guy on the
Unfortunately.
screen,
I'm not
hanging out
reading
and
that one.
partying. I didn't do private parties ever. I mean, I probably provided food for them because I worked in a restaurant too. I had a lot of jobs there. I did not mean to do that. I didn't know I could do that with my joystick. That's interesting to know I could do that with my joystick, my arcade stick. Anyway, so kind of ugly. I remember going back here several times. One of the managers.
I love it.
Cool.
It looks like Steven Tyler eating ice
bring
cream
out
right there.
cans and pitchers of beer. We'd all get drunk and then go play Daytona USA and NFL Blitz and just have a good
Get
time
blitzed
after
and then
work.
play
And,
Blitz.
I was 18 at the time, so I wasn't
That's
even of
when the Terminator
age. I
walks
remember
in.
driving home drunk.
Yeah.
And I don't advise doing it. Okay, I don't drink at all now, and I think it's terrible to even do that. So don't get the wrong idea. But yes, when you're 18, you do stupid things. And that happened at the block party.
You want us to play the rest
You
of
used
the
to drive home drunk in one of those Daytona cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Great video.
Nobody
there's
ever
the
watched this
restaurant.
video.
I did
and
after I
was
worked
watching
on
it.
the,
You got
as the
23
go
cents
motion
when you're
show.
I don't know. I was
I took a
drinking
job
one
in the
night,
restaurant,
and
like,
next
later on,
morning
I
I
came
came
back
outside
and
my
worked at the
house, and my
restaurant
car
for
wasn't there, but one of those Daytona
Daytona
arcade
ones.
machines was out
I think
front.
I paid like $7.50.
Somehow I drove it home.
I don't remember. At the time, you're like, oh boy, I get more money to work at the restaurant. I had no restaurant experience whatsoever,
back
and
to
they
this
gave
part
me
with
no
the
restaurant
restaurant.
training whatsoever.
Back to the dirt.
That's probably why the
I
food was
remember
so great there.
The
The food was
restaurant
so
manager was
good.
named Chris. He taught me how to empty the heat fat fryer.
Well,
which is
I
the
had
worst
about
job
a
I've
variety
had
of
in my
jobs
life,
there. I
actually.
loaded
You'd
the
have to
game
take this little
cards.
cart on
I
wheels
ran
and
the
wheel it
movie
out to the
picture
back
movie
and then
thing.
dump this
I worked
oil.
in
It
the
was
ball
just
pit area for adults.
I
and
did
that
remember
was
being
rough.
taught
I
that.
can't hear
but
steps over steps.
Anyway,
I know.
Make
flat
sure you
top
give
fryers,
steps to
things like that. And then, you're
subscribe.
kids, you do stupid
Let's
stuff.
get her to
like throw a hamburger in
1,500.
the fryer.
Stop
Somebody
interrupting
ordered
yourself.
a Caesar salad. I had no idea how to make Caesar salad.
YouTube.com,
Nobody
it's
taught me,
Steps
so I just
Gaming.
kind of put some lettuce in there and dumped a bunch of Caesar dressing on it. I remember Chris coming back, goes, "You don't know how to make a Caesar salad?" I'm like, "No, I don't know how to make a Caesar salad." I mean, you guys hired me with no experience whatsoever and expect me to just know what's in a Caesar salad or what to cook. It wasn't like now where you just like Google stuff. Oh, Google how to make a salad, because you didn't have a phone on you. It was just different. And I remember like when I worked there on like Friday nights, like the waitress wouldn't show up, so I would have to be the waitress and the cook and everything, and I would go like. I would get beers for everybody, even though I was 18, because nobody else would do it. And I got all sorts of tips. I got good tips for getting people beer, but I totally illegal. Shouldn't have been doing that. I'm sure the management knew and didn't care. I mean, this is a lot of the reasons why this place failed. Okay, both one was owned by Blockbuster and Discovery and somebody else because they didn't know.
Steps
how
put
to make
Blockbuster
the
out of
place
business.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean,
Your fault.
everybody had free lunch there. It wasn't like it wasn't a big secret. We'd all make food and eat it at the super bloopers. And it just poorly managed. They
I think
really should have
DoorDash is here. I'll be right back.
paid attention. This is Virtua Alley, and I don't remember much about this because I didn't care
DoorDash,
about
aka
virtual
my
reality.
drug
then.
dealer.
Virtual reality
in the 90s.
Steps just sent him a package.
I mean, this is late 90s. This would have been like 98, 99, 2000. That this would have been a thing. So like this kind of stuff sucked back then. I wasn't into it. It's not my thing.
Still sucks mostly.
So
Virtual Alley. Oh God,
think-
old virtual
I
reality.
think that's
People throwing
it.
up after playing that, Brooklyn.
I'm gonna
I
go
played a
back,
little bit of
though.
that
I
when I was
wanna
younger, and
talk
it
about a
was
few
part of
more
the
things.
time.
Oh yeah, I know what I want to do. Back when I worked in the restaurant, I'll bring up the restaurant picture again. When I worked in the restaurant, I remember one of the game techs he came back there when I was working, and he's like, "Let me show you a little secret." I'm like, "What?" And he puts his pizza pan in front of the camera back there.
Jeez.
He gets pictures of beer. And so we started having a chugging contest of these pictures of beer. And after that, like, you know, we went and played Daytona. It's always Daytona. Daytona was always the game. It was like, had to be Daytona. You know,
It's the greatest racing game of all time.
X-Men
Arcade
Street
racing.
Fighter. Those
Daytona
are
is the reason Blockbuster's out of business.
Definitely, it was always a race to Daytona. Everybody loved that ride. And we didn't really go on the moving picture show or anything after close, but it was always the arcade games. And the tech would always just open it up or hand you the key. Like, and we all knew how to do the tech stuff on the arcades because,
Man, I wish we had something like
they
this
didn't
over in
care.
my
They'd be like, "Here's a
hometown.
key." You just go
We have
open it
18.
up and you go inside, press the credit button. You're like, give yourself a lot. You know, now I'd be really into actually maintaining those arcades and be really picky about how they are, knowing what I know now. But at the time, you know, it's just fun. And you know, really good time working here.
All right, the Ettinsoft guys got to eat.
And it was in Clearwater, crossing area of Indianapolis. It's torn
Any
down
longer, it's
now.
almost time for
There's
breakfast.
Yeah, guys, can you DoorDash some eggs and some omelets for us?
If anybody from Indianapolis finds
I
this
DoorDashed
video,
a
just
bunch of
memories
Red Bull,
Block Party.
so-
Comment down below. Tell me about your memories of Block Party, just so that I can hear it.
Block Party, Block Party.
Legit.
Nick's
would
already
enjoy
went to
hearing
work, I hear,
comments about
Brooklyn.
it. If you didn't know about it and you want to comment on my video, something I brought up, or maybe some memories you had at the arcade, or whatever, please do so. I have more arcade game, more video game content coming on the way.
Hey,
We're
Steps, I
getting ready
like
for
your
Super Sunday Turbo.
drops on the
Sure,
show.
live stream of Arcade1Up.
Those guys.
Now you just got to
Brad, show my picture. It's not as exciting as Steps, though.
What picture?
Well, I'm glad that he showed the video because I don't know. I worked on that video and like
I was looking this
now
up
someone's seeing
while
it.
the video was
Awesome.
playing.
Here we go.
So there you go.
Hold on.
Oh,
Remember I said Blockbuster, so that was it.
shuffle us to the
Blockbuster
side.
Golf
There we
and
go.
Games in Sunrise, Florida, opened from 94 to 2000. I moved to Florida in 93, and that's where I was floating around. Every time I passed this place, I would always stop and go in and hang out in there. And that's like, I remember in the center of the place, like it was like on a riser. It was like the centerpiece was that huge globe that would flip upside down.
Wow.
That they now have. Yeah.
Welcome to the Retro
In Chicago.
Confessional Show.
Yeah, anybody else want to go? Anybody?
That's it. Mine's not as exciting, but I knew it was Blockbuster Games, but mine was
How long has it been
Blockbuster
since your
Golf
last
and Games.
confession?
They probably just bought a bunch of places like and just stuck the Blockbuster name on it.
I used to go to Chuck E. Cheese and crap in the ball pit. Is that a confession?
Oh my goodness.
I have a retro
Oh my
confession.
goodness.
That's how you game.
Oh my goodness.
Now, it's a game of you have to swim through the ball pit and dodge
Yeah.
the hurt. Like,
Oh, dude, the ball pit was dangerous.
yeah.
that's what would happen at that Block Party adult McDonald Playland area.
Wow.
Is that one time, like it was when I was there as a customer. I went there with a friend, and there was like you're crawling through the tubes, you know, because there's tubes and ball pits and slides and all that. And my friend goes, "We're gonna go in this tube." I go, "Absolutely not! It smells like shit."
Oh my goodness.
He goes,
I was
and
there.
he goes,
Wow.
"Yeah, I'm gonna do that." I'm like, "I'm not." And he comes out the
You
other
love
side
home
and he's covered
arcades.
in brown goop. And it was like gross.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Coming.
I'm sorry.
I not only
I'll
have
put
to,
cute
we
Yoda
had
back
that
on there.
one time. One
What a
time we
show.
were over at the
McDonald's play area, I think, right?
No, this one was over at. They had this really cool place called Papa's Pizza in a town called Redmond, nearby, and they had this just awesome, huge, like
Massive.
jungle gym, and it was like about 2, maybe 3 stories high, and it just had a lot of intertwined. Anyway, somebody peed in the slide,
Yeah, that
and
was
I was sliding
Yeah,
down, and
I
I
remember
just
that.
barely saw it in time. I
Oh, you
stopped
jumped out?
myself, and then I had to. It was
You
like
had to
it was
Did
like
you have to
a
wedge
horror
yourself
movie
and-
because I
Yeah,
had to like
It was a water slide.
slide.
Lobster
And
crawl
there
out
were
of
kids
it.
at the top.
Yeah.
Like,
So you had to
so-
go. He had to go. Turn back.
Still a
turn
professional.
back.
It was a homemade water slide.
Happening here. What is happening? This show's off the rails.
So I got a little retro confession. Not as fun as
retro confessional,
peeing and pooping and stuff here,
Not like,
but it correlates with Blockbuster. I read in, I think it was Madden 64 for the Nintendo 64, and the case that it came in was all like falling apart. And so when I took it back and put it in the little drop box, the game must have fell out of it, and next thing you know, they're sending me, they say I owe them $120 for Madden 64, and I'm like, but I could go to Best Buy and buy it for you guys for $60, but you're telling me I owe you $120.
They're like, we'd rather just have the.
Yeah.
They're like,
Tomorrow
that's
night
why
on
they went out of
Steps
business.
Gaming live.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Steps Retro Confession Show.
After hours with Steps.
After hours with Steps. She serves minors. She serves minors.
She serves
I didn't know. I never
Meanwhile, Papa Brad is playing Zookeeper happily on YouTube.
Yeah.
You haven't checked out my Zookeeper video.
I never served minors. I was underage to serve beer. But they left me there by myself. I gave beer to adults. I checked IDs. I never served minors. Thank you.
It was a bunch of 5-year-olds peeing in those tubes, drinking beers, sliding.
That's why they were peeing.
Yeah.
They were plastered, so they kind of like couldn't make their way.
Friday night arcade show.
The cat.
Fix It Felix going to be played. How cool is that?
Yes, and we are
add games into the form.
I got competition.
We got topic. Go get him. Go find him.
That's my buddy Tubbs.
This isn't as exciting as Retro Confessions.
should we do more confession Steps?
Good. Yeah. What else you got, Steps? What else you got?
What else I got? I don't know. I'm supposed to have a tournament this weekend. It's supposed to be on Saturday. It might switch to Sunday, and I'm working on that with the Street Fighter people because it's just a Street Fighter community thing. So
nice.
Hopefully it'll be on my channel this weekend.
Cool.
I can't read that out loud.
Homemade porn.
Corn.
Okay. It's in the chat. It's in the chat. I want to read it. It's in the chat.
Oh my god.
Rich Adela, was it the one on Rockaway Parkway and Seaview Avenue on that corner? Because I used to go to that Blockbuster.
And Menace did come up with an excellent Arcade1Up list, by the way. Good job. So did Steps. Thank you to kevgret. Thank you to Nix, who had to go to sleep.
Nix just left.
Thank you to Papa Brad's Gaming.
Woo.
And all these legit YouTubers. Look at all these. Look at all these. Look at all these.
Don't show Tim's Tiny Arcade. That's just
Look at all these. Look at all these. Anyway.
Oh wait, we got a cat. What do we got here?
Say hello to Spawn.
He looks
grumpy. You like cats. If you think they're cute,
I want to spawn Easter egg in one of your games. You gotta put Spawn as an Easter egg in one of your games.
Get Spawn in the game. He turns into a big monster.
See, I knew that. I called it. I knew the one Rich Adela. So I guarantee, like, we probably used to see each other when I was younger because I used to be in that Blockbuster all the time. The only one that I knew in Brooklyn, close to where we both are from.
He was in there peeing in the balls.
Right across the street from the Bayview Projects where all my family lived.
We went from 26 to 17. That's 9 gone. Y'all are doing great. Keep it coming.
We gotta get them all out.
We get the double digits. Get the 10. Anyway, I think we had a great show. We had a lot of fun. We can talk offline. Steps will give us all the dirty, all of our confessions offline. Thanks everyone for being here. Make sure you check out. Shout out? Absolutely, make a shout out right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna be come October 14th or 13th through 15th. We're going to be at a convention called Portland Retro Gaming Expo,
Portland, Oregon.
In Portland, Oregon, where we will be. I will be dressed up like a clown, and we're going to be doing. We're going to be showing off the game there and selling, T-shirts and whatnot. And so,
Say hi to Metal Jesus for me.
Yeah.
Say hello to Metal Jesus.
Metal Jesus Rocks will definitely be there.
Yeah, he always goes to that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Is that the guy who's on the unicycle?
Or no?
No.
There's a dude. There's always a guy on a unicycle
Vader
who goes
guy.
there.
He's
awesome.
Vader, yeah.
He's a big gaming
Big
YouTuber.
What's his name one more time? And I'll write it down.
Metal Jesus rocks.
Just look him up. You'll see him.
Rocks. Okay, yeah. So yeah, if anyone wants to head over there and see us, we're going to be
there all weekend.
Yeah, we're going to be there all weekend, and so they have the booths open the 14th and 15th, the Saturday and the Sunday. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. I have something very special to roll us out, and this is a message to all the people that say Home Arcade is dead. Here's my answer if you're saying Home Arcade is dead. Thank you, all the guests, everyone that was on tonight. We had a great show. Stick around for this video. This video is definitely a message.
Thanks, chat.
Enjoy.
Thanks everybody. Thanks, Ettinsoft, Papa, Brooklyn.
Brings me back to what I love about this amazing hobby of ours. You know, going to a real arcade or real locations that have pinball machines that you can play on location. Modern Stearns, classic Williams pinballs, you know, great classic arcade video games, you know, like some of the games I'm about to show. This was at the heart of why I started Papa Brad's Gaming. And the wonderful thing is that we get to experience some of this fun now at home. And it doesn't matter what brand you use to play arcade games at home. I mean, one of the great things is we have so much choice right now. We live in a golden age of home arcade. These games that were reserved as monuments in arcades, now we can play them all at home through emulation, through commercial products. Look at this high score on Miss Pac-Man. Pretty amazing. But, you know, playing the real machines is always what it comes back to. Look at the size of this CRT monitor. You know, I have a deep appreciation for real arcade games. And I just love it when I get to go on location and play these games out in the wild. Here's one I haven't seen in a while. Check out this Duck Hunt from Nintendo. Pretty cool. Am enjoying my Send-In light gun. Another classic that you really can only play in an arcade is Paperboy with the handlebars and the unique controls. Looking at Rampage World Tour. And of course, no barcade is complete without an amazing golden tee. Ready to go is your number pad. Look at all that space around that trackball. This is the real deal. Shout out to the Rexer Show in Kevgret. Your number pad. Lots of space in that run up so you can play some real golden tee. Look at that party zone just hanging out there. Happy Juice. What a wonderful evening down here in Old Town. Playing some pinball, having a couple beers. Celebrating 2,000 subscribers. To my viewers, thank you very much. I appreciate you subscribing and sticking with Papa Brad's Gaming. Thank you. A special shout out to all the people that have been part of the iiRcadians. It's been an amazing journey. Another special shout out to my good friend Brooklyn Menace and the Friday Night Arcade Show. where we come together and play games as a community. And lastly, a shout out to T. McCloskey for a brand new show that I'm doing with him called Arcade Talk. Come check it out. I think you might like it. Arcade Talk comes on Thursdays. This has been Papa Brad reminding you to always stay legit.